What's up, chicken butts? How's everybody doing tonight? It's going to be wonderful. So good. Dustin, do you remember the good old days back when in wrestling, Triple H was around and he'd come out and he'd go, "Are you ready?" Dun, dun. Just kidding. He's still not coming tonight. My whole heart and soul is crushed. Welcome to the Comic Book Babylon. Dustin has no clue what's happening.
Mm-mm.
Not a clue. We were backstage for 4 seconds. I hit go live, and now we're live.
And the only person who's here is some kind of bot that I just removed. So,
No, that's the Stream Element bot. It's always there.
what does it do?
It's one of our what do you call it? Like, not to go off track while we're waiting on everybody to join us tonight. But basically, like, I can come in and do like a chat box, and then put in like any chats that come in, it'll pop up, that kind of thing. So, not a big deal.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So, anywho's, how's everybody tonight? How are you tonight, Dustin?
I'm good.
See, look, Liz is here. Liz is here. We got some people showing up. Anywho's, is comic book pressing and cleaning restoration? There's a poll in the chat.
That's right. I'm going to put up a few polls throughout the night just to kind of gauge people's where people are, because I know that we get a lot of people that'll watch, but they don't want to talk in the comments. They don't want to interact, which I find puzzling. I would love to know why.
I watch tons of live streams and I never comment. A lot of times it's because I'm actually working out now. What's up, Treasure Hunter? I know. I'm excited to talk some comic books.
I'm going to be very soon.
Is that a leather one?
Yeah. It's like a real mother effer right there.
I want to get one of the gorilla ones.
Yeah,
I almost bought one, but
what are they called? Beast bells or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
What's up, Chris? I'm here, and that's all that matters. Hey, nothing. That's right. That's all that matters, Liz.
The chat's like in the middle of the screen here.
What now?
The chat is like showing up in the middle of the screen.
It was not anymore. I took it away. It may, for whatever reason, still on yours. That's one of the things that I was talking about, where I can set up. And guys, let us know if you like that. I can not a donation goal. We don't want to do that. I can put the chat box, and we can kind of like add it here, so your chats pop up on screen. Some people really are into that.
Yeah, I like it right there at the bottom.
Yeah. So, anywho's, what's happening? I see you got a new poster behind you there.
Yeah. So, I've been really wanting to go with comic book covers behind me, and I found somebody who had a bunch of different ones, and they were only $20, free shipping. So I was like, well, let me buy one and see if it's even worth a crap. Make sure the quality's good, that it's not somebody just, zoomed in on a picture and comes out all fuzzy, but it's actually really, really good quality. So I got the one, and now the guy is got his eBay account unavailable until December 31st or the 30th, so I have to wait until the end of the year to order the other three. But
he's going on vacation.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have the only thing that sucks is like the only ones that he has available are like the ones you would think of. Like he's got the AF-15s, he's got Cap 100 or Cap 109, like ones that I like, but I've already got, so like they've got Marvel Spotlight 5s, like stuff that I like, but I was wanting to do some stuff that like I would have loved to do a Batman 423 or The Walking Dead #1 would have been cool. Fantastic Four #3, I think, is one of them I'm going to get. So there's a couple, but I was just looking for some that were just not like overly overused and overseen comic books, So like this Hulk book poster behind me. Like I've got the poster there. I've got a graded comic in front of me, and then in my pressing room, I've got one of those like that 3D thing you gave me from Hobby Lobby of it. So, but
at some point, you may or may not be sick of that cover.
Yeah, I don't know if I could be though. It's such an awesome cover. So, but technically, I've got two because this Warriors poster is actually a comic book cover. It's
just
from
a non-release, right?
Yeah, never released comic. So, technically, I do have two, but I think what I'm going to go with is the Fantastic Four #3, and Batman #3, the one that you and I like a lot. And then the last one, I'm either probably going to go with Captain America 109 or Marvel Spotlight #5 or Daredevil 43, I think is the issue. It's the Jack Kirby with Daredevil fighting Captain America on the front. So I'm going to go with one of those. We'll see.
You ought to reach out to him and see if he takes requests.
Oh, I have. He said no.
He said he's already
like, I really want a FF51, bro. Like I want FF51 would be cool, or even Fantastic 455 with Surfer fighting the Thing.
He said he's already stolen enough people's artworks.
Yeah,
to,
I know. That's
resell.
why I was like, dude, like, come on now. Whoever's printing these is getting them from somewhere now. Come on. Even one of like the Power Rangers helmet covers would be really cool. Just something that has like a really cool, they would look good blown up like that. So I don't know. Turtles #1, like there's a ton of them I could think of.
Yeah.
And I wished I could find somewhere where I could get them printed so I could change them out intermittently and just have a bunch of them, because I would totally do that. But
yeah, it wouldn't be hard to do it. You could, I
can't find anybody that can help me do that bootleg stuff. So ain't enough of y'all savage degenerates out there like me. I need some more degenerate friends and followers out here for me.
Oh man. Well, anywho's, so normally we do new pickups. Have you picked anything up? Because I have not. Or you can show off something you just got.
Hold on just a second.
All right. He'll be back. I have not picked up anything, although I have been looking at something you guys would never. So last week I showed off on Marvel Masterpieces, and now I'm been like trying to figure out if I want to hunt down one of the Spider-Man Marvel Masterpieces. So pretty intrigued by that, if I'm honest, but just haven't been to the comic shop with the economy kind of going really going iffy. I'm not buying any big books, just going to let the whole comic market crash and burn. And then as long as I'm still employed, which I hope we all are, then I'll start buying again. Right. So, all right, here he is.
All right. So yeah, I got a few things to show off here. Let's do that. I don't like when you just aren't on the screen and you're just back there like fiddling with your phone and stuff.
Oh,
you're not paying attention.
I never pay attention.
I know. You're not taking it seriously, Nick. Let's
here
see.
On time.
Huh?
Said I am here on time.
I don't know. I don't know. Oops. All right, guys. If you see that some folks are not here in the chat and they should be, share it out. Matter of fact, just share it out anyway. Tell everybody to come on. So I picked some stuff up today on the Comic Book Chiropractor account for you guys. So we got a stack of boards and some bags, because when you guys send me slabs to crack, I have to have something to put your books in to submit them to CGC so you can get those grade bumps. And I got tired of taking my comics out of bags and putting them back in boxes raw so that I would have bags, because I would take like my nice Mylars and use those for customer books. And then like my nice books are just hanging out raw
dogging.
So, and then I picked up, I was actually very excited that I needed a second one of these. So I used the big heavy duty, acid-free, stackable, lockable, closable, heavy, the comic book storage bins. I couldn't get it out what it was. And I like these because, one, I can close them up and lock them, and it keeps the books really safe and secure. But also it's got these dividers built into the box here. So that I can move that up if the box isn't completely full, and I don't have to worry about books falling down, falling over, leaning. I can keep everybody's books upright. And one had been doing fine for a while, but we got busy over here, so I had to go and get a second one. So that was really exciting that I was able to I felt like I needed to go pick up a second one of those. So that was really cool. Got a bunch of people sending books in this coming week from emails that I've gotten from what I've been told. So if you have stuff you want to get pressed and clean, cracked and bumped, whatever you want to do, holler at me, get them in, because I might be getting the turnaround time right now is like a week to 2 weeks. But if it gets super busy, you know, the turnaround time might turn into 3 weeks. So we'll see.
What's up, Warlord?
Warlord. What's going on, man? So I got some comics that I picked up recently. So I picked these up off of an Elite Comics live sale. The guy put this up. He put one of these books up for like $100, and I was like, man, I've always been interested in that character. That'd be a cool one to get. And then he added 2 more books to it and dropped it to $75. And it was still sitting there with nobody picking it up. Then he added another free book, and it had an awesome ass cover on it. And I was like, all right, I can't let all these go for 75 and nobody's picking them up. So I just picked them up. I picked them up. So the first one, this was the free book he threw in. This is from 1973. We got Weird War. Weird War Tales issue number 14. And I love the cover on that, man. I just thought that cover was killer. You got the skeleton dive bomber, just paratrooper, just flying out of the freaking airplane there. So I thought that was super cool. The flag patch is backwards on his arm there, but we'll let him slide on that. The artist probably didn't know the difference, but I did notice that, and I was like, that's kind of a pet peeve of mine. It bothers the crap out of me when the patch is on backwards. Next up, we got Weird Western Tales number 12. This is the 3rd appearance of Jonah Hex, and another really awesome cover. So pick that one up. This is from 1972, and yeah, that was just an awesome cover. I love that. And the next one is Weird Western Tales Presents issue number 18, and it is Jonah Hex, which is this is his first solo story ever for Jonah Hex. So picked that one up in the lot, which was super sweet as well, from 1973. You might see a bit of a trend going on here. And the last one, this is the one he had up for $100 by itself, and then he threw all of these together for 75. And it is Jonah Hex issue number 1. So picked all of those up, and this is from Rob Buys Comics on Instagram. You guys go check him out. Super nice guy. He's got great taste in football. He's a Florida State fan, so but he's super nice guy. He's got really fair prices. Always has some awesome books. I don't know if he sells much outside of Elite Comics 11, but I know if you follow him on Instagram, you'll always know when he's going to be selling with Elite. So pick those up. Thought they were pretty cool. I started watching the Jonah Hex movie, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, and I was so tired I fell asleep halfway through it. But that's just a character I've always been interested in. I just never have really taken the time to dive in. So I figured out, as cheap as those books were, I'll pick them up, and maybe that'll entice me to read into that a little bit more. So, and then I've got a few slabs here picked up. Now, this one is a part of a contest I have going on the Comic Book Chiropractor Instagram. And so you guys make sure you go get in on that. But it is a Kanto issue number 1, CGC 7.5. 7.5. So the contest that I have going on Instagram on my Comic Book Chiropractor page is guess the grade, not guess this grade. Guess what grade I'm going to bump this to, because I indeed will bump this book. So you guess the grade that you think I'm going to bump it to. And all you have to do is you type in the comments the grade you think that I'm going to get when it comes back from CGC. You have to tag 2 friends, and then you share it out, and then you're in. And whoever guesses the grade right or gets closest to it is going to get 2 free press and cleans from me. And if
that's
it's
a
more
$400 value.
Yeah, no. if more than one person's if more than one person gets it right, then I'm just going to go with whoever got it right first. Now, here's the other thing I'm doing though. If somebody you tagged in the comments wins, you get 2 as well. So you tag 2 people, you bring them to me, and they win. Well, you get something for your efforts as well. So I thought that was something cool. It doesn't take a lot of effort on your part, and it gives you an opportunity to try me out and see if I don't know if the hype is real or if I'm just BSing. And if you're still not convinced, you guys can go watch Hudat's CGC comic unboxing he did today. I did right by him again. This is 2 submissions in a row. My man has gotten back books that he definitely was not expecting some of those grades. We had one that it was a huge miss. But CGC, it's like somebody when they opened that book, freaking they screwed that book up bad. And I've got receipts to prove it, but we're gonna crack that one out, and it's gonna get right. Now this one I picked up with Nick a few months ago.
Lame.
Merc with a Mouth #7, First Lady Deadpool. And when I looked this over, I'm like, man, this is a 9.8 all day. Well, we got an 8.0. And I'll tell you why this pissed me off.
Dang.
You see, I'm trying to see if it'll show up. You see right here on the red, it changes tint a little bit. Anyway, it almost goes pink right here. And they called it fading. So a few things here. Number one, CGC, I have your book in my other room in there. And when we look at fading, it's not going to drop a book to an 8.0 that otherwise would have been a 9.8. That's according to your rules. I mean, hell, I've seen Hulk 181s that are faded so bad it looks like they were printed in black and white, and they're up in the 9 still. So that's one thing. Number two, this book was printed in 2010. So that was, 12 years ago. The book's not faded. You can look at it and clearly tell that it's like a some kind of ink printer defect of some sort or something like that. I mean, it's like an absence of ink almost. But it's not freaking faded. Like you can look at it and tell that's not what it is, because it is literally like a bold line of like the ink stops. So whatever. I'll crack that one out later. Next one up, we got the Darkwing Duck #1. Everybody knows if trouble follows you, call DW. That's right. So we got the 9.8 Darkwing Duck issue #1. This actually got a lot of interaction on Instagram on both of our pages. So this is actually one I'm going to be selling. So be on the lookout for that. It's either going to go up on Elite Comics 11, or I may end up holding it and putting it up for sale at one of the comic shows that we're going to be at this year, because going to have a booth at a couple of shows this year. Probably going to have a booth at Lexington. I know we're going to have like 4 booths at Heroes Con, and we may have a booth at Huntsville. So we'll see. We're not going to talk about this one yet. We'll talk about that one later on when we get into it. But yeah, that's it right now. That was all my pickups, all my new stuff. Now I did get books in today from CGC that sat there for almost 15 months almost.
Dang.
Finally got them back today, and I'm going to do a video on those. And it's not good, guys. It's not good. If you guys remember, Nick and I did a video together last year where I was sending books to CGC. He was sending books to CBCS. We both talked about what we thought the grades would be. Now, at that point, I hadn't really studied in depth as much as I have now on grading and getting a better eye for grading. I feel like I have a really good handle on it now, and I wasn't there at that point. But yeah, you'll see in the video. You'll see in the video. I don't think the graders got it wrong. That's not the problem. That's not the problem. But I'll talk about the problem in the video because there was some big books in there. There was some expensive books, and there were some books that had gotten really expensive in the time they were gone, and then now they've dropped all the way down to nothing again. So, which all these books are keepers for me anyway, but I was definitely disappointed on almost every single one of them. So make sure you guys are watching out for that video because it's gonna be coming soon on the channel here. Probably not till after Christmas because I know Nick's gonna be in Disneyland for like 6 or 7 weeks or something like that. So, but it'll be coming soon. So make sure you guys check that video out. 14 and a half, almost 15 months. Cannot believe it, guys. Don't forget there is a poll going on in the chat tonight. We're gonna be talking about restoration, conservation, pressing, and cleaning. Which ones are good, which ones are bad, and why. I want to hear you guys' opinions on that as well. It's not just what we think. We will share our thoughts, of course, because well, that's what we're supposed to do here. But I definitely want to hear what you guys think and why when we get to that as well.
All right, Dustin, give me one. Oh, matter of fact, I don't know if I ever showed this off. Did I ever show this off to you guys?
I don't think you did. Is that the one that I found for you, or is that a new one?
Yeah. This is the one that you claimed for me. So
Okay.
what's really cool about this,
Which volume is that?
this is the volume 1, the pocket edition.
Oh, it is volume 1. Okay.
1
I
through
couldn't
6.
remember if that was the cover for volume 1 or not.
All right. So what this is basically a trade paperback of 1 through 6 of ASM. It's I'm trying to move the bot or the chat real quick.
There you go. You're good. I got you full out.
So here we go. Super cool. And Rob's by Comics is the same guy, and that's what made me kind of think about it. But it's pretty cool because it's like basically on very similar paper to that of comic books, but Paul W. Bartz owned this apparently at one point, and also apparently like to really write all over the back. It's kind of hard to tell, but yeah, all over the place. I wish I could get it to kind of hit. It's basically like somebody, there it is. So it's kind of like somebody put a piece of paper over the back of it and just wrote all over it. But anyways, but it's just super cool. It's just really neat to kind of flip through.
That one's a little bit different than mine because my Fantastic Four one. Let me grab it.
Let him grab it. Let it rain. So I thought that was pretty cool. I was glad to be able to have that in the collection. What up, Sindane? What up, Austin? So
this one is called the Collector's Album, is what it says on the spine. What does yours say?
Marvel Comic Series. Stanley presents The Amazing Spider-Man Pocket Comics.
Oh, dude, I think I grabbed the wrong thing for you then. My bad. That's not the same as this one. This is a collector's album. And the reason why I thought it was different is because mine are all printed this way.
Yeah, this is from 1977 though, so
okay,
it's not super like new.
Yeah, this one was printed in 60. Is yours in color?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, mine's not in color either. Sorry, dude. I thought that was the same thing, man.
I still think it's cool.
Mine was printed in 65. So, but I mean, they're still among the first trade paperback styles of books. I mean, so it's still really cool.
What up, Ryan?
Ryan started the fire.
Trying to make sure we say hello to everybody. Warlord got you. Not near mint. Yeah, Treasure Hunter. Those book bins are really good.
Yeah, I love them. They're really, really nice. This is I actually took the one I was using for my personal collection and decided to start using that for customer books. And yeah, I mean, they're expensive. I was gonna get a magazine size one, but those have gotten up to almost $60 a piece. So I just went back.
And that's all, folks. Blip, 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 blip. Look at that.
I really should have just left. Like,
I won't lie. That's actually would be funny.
Hey,
Just
that's my
roll
move.
in.
Show up, surprise people, and then just roll out.
Yeah, what I should have done.
I wouldn't blame you. Wouldn't blame you a bit. How are you?
I currently hear a child upstairs screaming, and I don't know why.
I thought you were about to say upside down. I was like, well, that's crazy. He can tell which direction their head is facing just from the scream.
Yeah.
Do you need to go check on that?
No, I put my kid to sleep already, so
Hey, all your responsibilities.
He
Yeah.
said his kid.
yeah, Kate is my responsibility. She is
Oh,
asleep.
she stuck you with the new one, bro.
Yeah, because I'm the only one who can get her to fall asleep easy.
Man, she took the one that was already trained. That's dirty.
Well, she's probably screaming because it's 10 o'clock, and Liz was probably like, "All right, it's time to go to bed."
Oh, okay.
Probably,
Well,
if I had to guess.
Sounds like my daughter.
Austin, yeah, man, we'll get into that in just a second for sure.
Well,
we're definitely
Justin
not.
and I are going.
I was
Justin
gonna say
has,
we're not looking forward to. We're not all looking forward to the same Comic Cons because some of us flaked out on going to some of the Comic Cons that we've been going to together for years now.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, that individual has very good, valid reasons.
I don't believe it.
I think that just depends on who you're asking.
That's
the
fair.
validity definitely lies in the hands of the beholder.
That's
just
fair.
saying. I like how I put those words together just now. I'm just saying that's usually not my strong point.
Are we at the point where we're showing off stuff that came in this week?
Yes,
Yeah, go ahead, dude. We just got done. I was just showing off. I just showed off this piece of junk that I'm sure nobody wants. This Darkwing Duck #1, 9.8. Just yuck. I mean, ugh. Nobody likes that.
That's an 8.6 right there.
What'd you pick up, man?
All of my Baltimore books came in.
Oh, really?
So, all of the books that I took with me to Baltimore Comic Con to get signed, I had witnessed, and I turned over to CGC right there on the spot. That was at the end of October. They came back today. So, what's
like
that?
it.
That's
About a
pretty
month?
quick. Yeah, it's pretty quick turnaround time for those. Did you fast track them, or is that even?
I did fast track them. I
didn't even know if it was an option, so that's why I was asking.
Yeah, I just fast track everything at this point because
I don't think they let me have the option of fast track for the Todd McFarlane signing.
no, I don't think you could on that.
Yeah. I mean, mine's been in grading and encapsulation for the last 2 days, so it should ship out on Monday finally, but we'll see.
Mine's currently received at CCS, so
Yuck. I wasn't even gonna let them touch mine. I was like, no.
All right.
Be what it'll be.
So the first one, these are all books that you've already seen, Dustin, because you pressed them.
Oh, I did.
You did.
Oh, okay.
He
all right,
touched
so
the butts.
This is the
the
second time
first
today
one?
somebody's showing off books I worked on. Oh no.
First one is Uncanny X-Men number 213, and it's in a 7.5, but that's what you said it would be, and it's signed by Alan Davis. You can see his signature right there, sort of above Sabretooth's, forehead, and Nocenti right there on Wolverine's claw.
I like that placement of those.
Yeah.
I like the placement on the claws for sure. Yeah.
I learned a very valuable lesson. Well, not valuable. I learned something. Alan Davis does sketch covers for only $200 at conventions. So next year, if he's there, I think I'm just going to get in line for that because he only does just signings for 1 hour a day. The rest of his time is spent doing sketch covers.
Oh, right on.
So, I think it'd be cool to have an Alan Davis sketch cover.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, and of that $200, he gives 50 to the Hero Initiative. So he's only pocketing 150 for himself. So
heck yeah, taxable deductions. Nothing wrong with that. Or I'm sorry.
I wish that one would have been a good
donations.
surprise and maybe hit an 8.0 for you, but I didn't think it had the legs.
No, it's fine. And we talked about it. Like, I went to a comic show a week before Baltimore Comic-Con, and I wasn't able to find a raw copy of this
Yeah.
at that show because I was just going to buy a high grade copy at the show.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just sold my copy of that I've had like since my first year of collecting, like literally a week before too. I was like, dang you, Justin, you should have told me I would have give you the damn thing.
It happens. All right, so this next one is Long Shot #1. It's the first appearance of Long Shot and Spiral. And a 9.4 signed by Ann Docenti right there across the top. You can see it. I like that placement. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep. Hey, remind me to talk about signature placements on comic books because I saw an interesting post. I want to get everybody's opinion on.
Okay.
And,
If I remember correctly, I do believe I cussed you quite significantly over that book, Justin, when you sent it.
This one or every other one?
I think it was that one that was so dirty on the back that I
It
spent
was.
over an hour cleaning it, and I was just like, every time this man sends me a book, like it is always bad.
You're like, damn. I think your exact quote was, "Damn it, Birch! I was gonna go to sleep, but now I have to clean this."
Although that is pretty much like that is legitimately my favorite part of doing this is cleaning the books. It is just it's relaxing and I enjoy it a lot. So,
I'm
yeah, that's
really
awesome.
looking forward to Art Adams signing this since he did the art on it. Eventually, at some point, I will run into him at convention, or maybe he'll do a CGC signing. We'll send this in and get it signed again.
What are you thinking about? What do you think about them putting the date on the cover when they sign it? I don't like that too much.
I don't care. I'm not. I mean, do you honestly know how much she was charging for a signature? $5.
Yeah.
She was charging $5 for a signature and asking for donations to the Hero Initiative. So I was like, well, here's your $5. Well, here's your $10 because I got her to sign the other book. And then I put like 30 in the Hero Initiative bucket because I was just used to everybody charging me $25 for a signature.
Yeah. I remember whenever I went to my first comic show, went by myself. Clayton Crane was there. I had just gotten the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers issue 40 Scorpion Comics exclusive. And that was the first time I'd ever bought an exclusive. I didn't even understand what it was. Didn't know who Clayton Crane was. I knew it had the White Ranger on it and it was badass. And then I found out I was looking at the guest list and I was like, I think that name sounds familiar. And I was like, oh, I just got this book. So I got him to sign it $5. Next time I saw him, 60. I was like, bro.
And
like,
now he's stealing you wives.
Hey, I'm just saying, like, maybe he's putting it down better than the other guy was. I mean, you can't be mad at her. I mean, she's got needs too.
Anywho's.
I feel like my beard has gotten a little bit more grayer right here since the last time I was on.
I don't know.
That hat is definitely need a good washing. I think you've been wearing that for as long as we've known you.
Yeah, I bought this hat in the Penguins had made it to their second straight Stanley Cup final. That would have been about 2017. So I've owned this hat for 5 years and it has been washed at 0 times.
Mm-hmm.
All right, last book.
I know that pile behind you is definitely not changed since last time you were on here.
Dude, I don't know what you're talking about. I actually spent a good 30 minutes cleaning, and I still have to clean because tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm on Rob Fatstack's channel and showing off some books on Only Slabs. So stop by, check it out.
What? I better get a plug when you show those ones you just got off.
I'm not showing these ones off. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm just so happy that Justin can go on other people's shows but not come talk to us ever.
Hey, well, I mean, we're also not doing shows in the middle of a Saturday or on a Friday morning until Friday midday. So
I can still have hurt feelings.
Do an early show. Do an earlier show.
I tried, but it doesn't ever happen. Hey, I'm going to be going earlier next week, Justin, when Nick's not here. So feel free, bro. I'm going to be starting.
Y'all should enjoy that.
Yeah, except there'll be one problem with that.
He's going to be there
you're
too.
going to be with me.
I'm going to be there too.
Next week's show is going to be real good, guys. Y'all show up for that one. I got guests coming. It's gonna be a whole thing.
All right, last book, and this is the big one. Dustin, you haven't seen this one. I did not send this one to you to get pressed, and you'll know why when you see it.
Mm-hmm.
It is the Gambit Gold foil book.
Oh,
9.0.
snap!
Triple signed, so you got Klaus Janson right there at the top, Howard Mackey on the jacket, and Lee Weeks, who signs Lee on one card and Weeks on the other.
Nice. And why would I know why you didn't send it to me?
Because you said you cannot press foil covers. You told me you couldn't press this.
You have said that. I've heard you say it.
I can, dude.
Well, it's too late now. It's signed.
Yeah, sorry. I got you on the next one though.
So here it is, triple signed, but it looks great.
Oh no, it's because that one's embossed. That was why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can press it, but it's not going to give you as much of a. You're not going to get like those little spine ticks there. They're not color breaking, but it'd be a lot. I couldn't put as much pressure on the book as I would really want to. It would be. I mean, I could play around with it, but yeah,
he could fiddle. He could fiddle it.
The embossment definitely is more tedious to deal with, I guess. But that's it. I'm getting all my embossed gold foil Mortal Kombats out, and I'm gonna just start pressing the shit out of them and figure it out until I've got it down pat, and I can tell everybody that I can press embossed foil covers better than anybody out there. I'm not taking any more books in until I get that figured out. Comic Book Chiropractor's closed.
Oh, so yeah, I got one more book that I ordered on Black Friday. It came in a while ago, but I haven't really shown it off to anybody. I am going to show it off tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. on Rob's Fat Stacks Only Slabs.
But you're not going to show it tonight to us.
I'm going to show it. I'm going to show it tonight.
Oh, okay. I was going to say we better get the exclusive show off. I'll be damn.
There's a reason why I'm showing it to you guys tonight.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Because it's a Fantastic Four book.
Watch it be a 13.
I bet that's what I was gonna say.
No, 28.
Oh yeah,
it's an X-Men crossover.
Yep, the first X-Men crossover.
No, it's not the first.
With the Fantastic Four.
They were there like 21, 22 or something, I think.
The first X-Men crossover in general is Tales of Suspense 49.
Okay.
It's that pink cover with Iron Man and Angel.
I don't think.
Oh yeah.
But this was the first time they interacted with the Fantastic Four.
Yes.
That was what I was saying. Like,
okay, I got you.
That was the two of them's first. I didn't mean to say crossover. I meant to say like meeting.
Okay.
But yeah, and then Fantastic Four the X-Men showed up at Reed's engagement shower or whatever, engagement party. That was awkward. But yeah, that's a cool one, dude. 5.0, that ain't too shabby.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the price I paid for it, and it fits in great with my sort of like X-Men in different book sort of collection that I'm going for now. Like, I mean, Dustin, you were there when I bought 2 of them at Heroes Con last year.
Yep. Man, that thing looks really, really, really nice though for a 5.0.
Yeah, it's I don't really want to crack it or anything. So like I'm happy with it at a 5.0.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I was saying. I mean, it presents really good.
Yeah, it's not bad. It looks the front's the most important part, right? I mean, like there's some stuff right. You can't really tell, but there.
Yeah, you can't see it on camera. On camera, the thing looks like a peach.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought you would be excited. It's my first Fantastic Four book.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's it. That's all I want to show off. So I'll be going to bed now. Good night, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Oh man. All right. Let's see. All right, so we got a question here. Actually, let me do this because there we go. And we're gonna move you to the passenger seat. There we go. All right, 9.2 FF or ASM 41. Well, let's take a look and see.
Yeah. Do you want me to pull up GPA or are you going to pull up GPA?
You... Oh my gosh. Yeah, you could probably get it quicker than me. Go ahead.
That was for Ryan.
Well, the biggest question I have for you is, are you happy with that book at that price? If you're happy with that book at that price, that's all that really matters.
That's right. That is right.
I'm
Right
here-
now is a hard time to tell if you got a good job, a good price on something though,
True.
because it can change every day.
I'm here for the positivity portion of the show.
There you go. There you go.
Oh,
Uh,
it was an accident. Oh man,
what was an accident?
that's what they said. It was an accident. They bought it on accident.
Oh, hail. Hate when that happens. How'd you do that?
All right. What's the grade? 9.2?
9.2.
See, and I can't find anything on eBay recently. Right now on eBay, there's an 8.0 that is currently
Hey,
at
honestly, look, I mean, not too bad because at one point it was November 19th, it sold for $4,800.
Yeah.
So I would say you did fine. I mean, the market's between 4,000, or I'm sorry, from about 3,400 to 4,800. So
Yeah.
I would say you're,
Right
not
there
too
in the-
bad.
Yeah, you're right there at it. Yeah. Yeah, you're right
Dang,
there
but
at it.
dang, dude, I hate that. Yeah, I think you'd probably be fine. You could probably get your money back depending on what's happening, but in a 9.2, that's not bad because it just sold for 4,800. But then again, it did just sell December 8th. But let's see, were they white pages? Were they not? Was there something?
Yeah.
So the one for 3,800 was off white.
Where did it sell? Does it show?
On probably eBay, but give me a second.
Okay.
And then
I
the
don't
one
think
that sold for 4,800 was white pages.
I don't think it does show where it was sold, does it?
Oh, no, one of them is for Heritage. So that was the one November 19th.
Now on eBay right
with
now,
Heritage.
on eBay, there's a buy it now for a 9.0 white pages for $3,599.
So both of these are for Heritage. So I bet you his was the one on December 8th. So before yours, it sold for 4,800 November 19th on Heritage.
Yeah.
So I bet you're fine. You could probably make your money back. I bet you it will appreciate some, once this economy kind of comes back. But yeah, a 9.2 white pages, if that's what it is, then you're, or even off white. I mean, that's still fine, still solid. I don't think it's a bad deal if I'm honest.
What year was that book?
Oh, 68? No, not 68, 66.
I was about to say 66 probably
So,
because
Yeah, I
We're
was
talking-
pretty off on my math.
Like, we're talking almost a 60-year-old book.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's incredible.
and a 9.2 with potential white pages. Props to you, dude. Even if you did buy it on accident.
Yeah, honestly, I don't.
I mean
Would
I
you
got
hold
a
it-
64 and a 9.0, but
Would
Hey,
you
who's
hold it
counting?
or sell it? Oh, and
Well-
Austin, we're gonna get back to your yeah. We'll talk about this too. Don't let us forget. Would you hold or sell? I think it depends on if you need the money or not. If you're fine, you don't need the money, hold it, see what happens. It's only going to appreciate. In my mind, maybe not with this current market, but I think over the span
Yeah,
of a
over
couple of
time,
years, it'll
yeah.
appreciate.
And that's a book Spider-Man collectors just want,
Yeah, because it's a good one, right? And I believe, is it 41 or 42 where Mary Jane also has her appearance?
41.
So see, a lot of people will buy that just for Mary Jane too. So
41 and 43. No, 42 and 43. I'm sorry.
is it 42 and 43? I knew it was one of those.
Yeah, because you have 42, and then 43 is the cover with Rhino on it that everybody says is the official first appearance. I'm like, 42, you get the let's face it, Tiger, you just hit the jackpot. Like that's
Yeah.
that's way better. Like,
Yeah.
get out of here, man. You get the line. Like she says her line in
Yeah.
42. So for me,
What's
that's
funny-
the one you want.
I saw something not too long ago, and it was a way to tell your wife. It's like, dang, I ordered jewelry and they sent me this, and it's a comic book or something. I thought it was funny. Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah, I saw that meme the other day. I
Yeah.
was laughing about that.
Yeah, I think you're total. I think it'll be fine. Heck, see what I mean. Throw it back up on Heritage and see what happens.
I was gonna say, you could always contact Elite Comics 11 on Instagram, and you can put it up for sale there, and it'll get in front of a lot of eyes,
And they only charge a 5% premium, right?
Well, let's see, I think it's 5% on their Instagram as a post, and then 7%, 7.5%, something like that. If you sell it during one of their live sales. And Nick just rolled out. Oh, I see. Never mind. He got up. But yeah, it's like I think the 5% is if you put it up and they post it. So
wow, look at that.
Yep, that's the one right there.
Justin, I sold my Punisher.
Did you really? Good for you.
Yeah, no, not good for me. I lost money.
Not good for him at all.
Oh no.
I was hoping, because the sales were pretty close to what I paid for it. Here and there, it was kind of spotty, like everything right now. So I threw it up as an auction. Had one bid the last second, and I lost a little. So, but I hated that book from the moment I bought it, and I was like, if I'm gonna sell it now, it's like quicker than just sit on it. I was like, let me just try now. It was kind of an impulse, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I love the way that you texted me and you were like, "Hey, do you want to buy this book?" And I was like, "No, I've already got a copy and it has all the cover."
Yeah, well, that's basically. I mean, it's a beautiful book, but it's missing the cover. So
Has all the cover, Nick.
well, he told me that if I ever was going to sell something ASM wise, to let him know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was not out of, hey, would you please send me money?
Like yours was what grade? A 1.8, Nick?
No, mine was a 3.0. Mark Jewelers.
3.0. Okay. Yeah. Like 3.5 was selling for almost half of what you paid for yours, and I was like, damn it.
I didn't lose a ton, but I did lose enough where it kind of hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It's not as bad as other people have lost, that's for sure.
Yeah.
House of Nine. Oh, dude, that would have been awesome.
Yeah, first Swamp Thing, House of Secrets. Yeah.
Oof.
Dang, man, I hate that. So again, we're not going to be the world's greatest investment people. That's just not something we love like some other folks.
Yeah.
But if it was your money, what would you put the money on, guys?
I mean, if it was between I wouldn't put my money in either one of them personally, but if I had to pick one of the two, I don't know. That's hard.
It is.
That kind of is going to roll into what next week's show is going to be about. And the topic will be, and if you guys haven't seen Sticky Goose on YouTube, he actually talked about it this week, and I've done videos about it before.
Nice.
Talking about why is the MCU, why does the value of comic books only rely on MCU stuff? Like, why does that the only thing that determines value? We're gonna talk about that next week. But I'm assuming that's what you're getting at is as far as like, MCU causing it to go up. And as far as either one of them go, I think it's really a toss up. I know that Hero for Hire in a 9.8 had a huge sale recently. But that was a 9.8, and that's because it was a 9.8, and that book doesn't come up very many times in a 9.8. I don't think there's many of those out there. That Nova #1, 9.8s are pretty easy to get. I mean, I think I got Russell. I got Who Dat Comics 196, and the one that he's sending back to me to work on it again because they freaking handled it like a Neanderthal. We're probably going to hit a 9.6 on that one too, and it has a shot at a 9.8. So that one's definitely not as hard to find in a 9.8. But at the same time, Heroes for Hire probably isn't as hard to find in that grade. So honestly, I would say flip a coin. I mean, I really just, I don't know, man.
Well, so here's the way I look at it, and here's a way where you can do it from a data standpoint. Get on GPA, what we just showed GPA analysis, and look and see where the prices are trending for both. And if you see, for me, if I was
and that's the only reason why I would say that wouldn't work is because
I'm not talking about
last
recent.
year. Last 2 years, we've gotten news about Nova, so that caused it to go up.
Exactly, but still, year over year for the last however long it's been, from 76 or whenever Luke
You
Cage
can look
came out,
that far back.
you can still see a data trend, right?
Okay, I didn't know it would go that far back.
I would assume, right? Or go collect some of these others do go back really far, but just kind of look and see where your trend lines are at, and it's not super likely you're going to see it just drop significantly, and there may be small spikes here or there. So just kind of look at it, do some research. If I was going to spend money on it, not from an investment standpoint, but maybe when I say investment, like if it was for a long-term hold, probably Luke Cage. I think he has more wheels than maybe Nova. But then again, it all depends on kind of what happens in the MCU and how people take to it. And now we don't know. We've seen Luke
there's
Cage
multiple
and nothing
Novas.
happened really. So
Because there's also multiple Novas.
yeah,
So just
that
because
too.
they say we're going with Nova, it doesn't mean they're going with Dick Ryder. They could be going with one of the other
Yeah.
Novas. There's only one Luke Cage.
Yeah, for sure. So, but yeah, it is definitely spec-ish. Nosh, happy anniversary, sir.
Yeah,
You
man,
and your
for
wife,
sure.
happy anniversary. Thanks, Twan. We do appreciate it. Or is it T1? Yeah, congrats, Nosh.
Take it easy on the old
What's
lady
up,
tonight,
Nathan?
man. You ain't
Nathan,
you
it's
ain't
been
gotta
a
put
while,
all the
man.
muscle on her.
I got a VV comic book.
That's
Dang,
good,
dude.
'cause it's probably not selling for anywhere near that now.
Dude, that's incredible, man. I need to go
Yeah.
back. I haven't logged into VV in
Dude, there's no way
6
that
7 months.
there's
Who
no way that
knows?
stuff's holding at all. No way.
Everything in the world's dropping, but man, all
Yeah.
it's going to take. People said that about that Bitcoin stuff right back in
Yeah,
2008.
and it's in the dumper too.
It's still worth tens of thousands of dollars versus pennies of what
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
So all it takes, man, like I said in my initial video, is I don't want to be the guy that missed the boat, and I think I have the right ones to just sit on. But
Yeah.
anyways,
I did not mind missing the boat.
hey, I'm
I
gonna
was
laugh
not
all the
gonna
way to the
I was
yacht.
not gonna participate in
What-
that freaking junk.
Hey, I'm in for it.
Why
ahead,
are we not focusing on Tyler's comment?
I'm wait. Oh, I was
'Cause
trying
It
to.
doesn't matter.
I only clicked on to ask if JB was come back. Can I just subscribe? And here he is. Of course. I hope you do not use any of our sound bites from last week. None. I love
Oh
that.
wow, 9.0 Wrightson. That's awesome. Yeah, Bernie didn't sign a whole lot, so that's really cool, dude. That's really cool.
Oh, man.
And as far as and we'll jump into this real quick. As far as his other questions, Comic-Cons you're looking forward to this year, Justin?
Yep.
I'm going to C2E2, Three Rivers Con in Pittsburgh, Heroes Con,
He's doing the Eddie Hall thing.
Heroes Con. I think I'm going to do Terrificon, New York Comic Con, and
Here we go, Nick.
You need to Sharpie the beast on you.
He just pops up, just pans the camera over, and
Oh my god.
he's the best.
Justin has no clue what we're talking about.
No.
All right, we're gonna let you talk now without interruptions. Go.
Oh, okay. I'm doing C2E2. What else am I doing? C2E2, Three Rivers Comic Con in Pittsburgh.
I like peanut butter on my apple pancakes. Sometimes I stick my finger in my belly button and pull out pocket lint. I don't even know how it gets there. But I still eat it. What is that? I can still taste it.
Go ahead. Why are you muted?
E2.
Hold on, you were muted this whole time. Go ahead. I don't know. Did you mute on your end because it was muted?
No, I don't
Look,
have.
we're falling
I-
apart here.
Oh my gosh, I'm just going to sleep. I'm going to.
I muted him so I could do voiceover.
Oh,
I remember I was talking to Liz about this earlier on the car ride home from getting Christmas pictures. I was like, we used to have a format.
do you miss it?
The format?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that why you don't come and hang out anymore? Not because
No, I don't come and hang out anymore because we don't start till like 10.
Yeah, Nick.
Wait, who's up? Oh, that's Gwen. Okay, she's not my responsibility. Um, what are we talking? I don't even know what we're talking about.
You just named off the Comic Cons that you're looking forward to this year.
Oh, okay.
That was all we were doing.
I'm going to C2E2. Going to Three Rivers Comic Con in Pittsburgh. I'm going to Heroes Con. I'm going to try to go to Terrificon again, depending on the guest list. That one's at a casino, so it's tons of fun. Baltimore Comic Con and New York Comic Con.
Well, one of those is going to be cool.
They're all cool for their own fun reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right. You say one of them will be cool, but you got to remember this year for Heroes Con, Liz and the kids will be with me.
With you, I'm
sorry, they'll be with me and Nick.
Yeah,
we're gonna be chilling, eating some tacos.
I found a taco place, so we're good.
You know what happens when I walk through the doors. I go into comic book Terminator mode.
when you first walked in, you were like, let's go this way. No, wait, let's go that way. What's this over here? Oh, let's just, and I'm like, dude, okay, we gotta
give me this book. Can I see that book? Can I see that book? Can I see that book? Nick and I are going to be going to Huntsville. That is the Two Brothers Comic Con. You are all invited and welcome to come. You still have to pay to get in, but you are welcome to come. We will be attending Lexington Comic Con because that is a long-standing tradition here at Two Brothers Comics, and we will continue to honor that as such. We will be going to Heroes Comic Con because I refuse to ever miss that again. I will miss every comic convention that is ever put on for the rest of time before I will miss that one again ever. And I may be making a trip out to New Orleans in January with Sean, who was on with us last week, and he and I and Houdat might be getting together down there in New Orleans for that show. Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to be making a few more shows. I know I'll make more shows than Nick will, but yeah, anything I can get anything close that I can get to, I'm going to try to make it this year for sure.
What Dustin said.
So, and real quick, guys, everybody pick one book, Grail on your hit list.
Can we define Grail?
Just a book you really, really fucking want.
Okay, for next year.
Mine's not going to be next year, but yeah.
I'll go with one that I'm planning to get next year.
Okay, go ahead.
And we will do a show, guys, like we do every year. I don't know if Justin's going to participate this year because he's just kind of been, but we do a show every year where we talk about our goals for the year, collecting and stuff. So be looking for that. But go ahead, Justin.
I'm next year. I'm going to pick up an Avengers Annual 10 and a 9.8.
Nice.
Dang.
That's
be Rogue, right? Easy. Or no, Kate. What is it?
Yeah, it's Rogue.
It's Rogue.
Okay. Ugliest first appearance cover ever, probably, but
House of 92.
I've got that Gambit in a 9.8. I need a Rogue in 9.8.
Yeah. I mean, that book has gotten really cheap and affordable, so that shouldn't be a problem at all for you.
Yeah, I've spent way more money on way more books.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, I have the Spider-Man annual #1 just waiting for it to come back from grading. And that's where I'm kind of at, right? Because I just sold that 129 and I'm just going to wait for it to keep dropping, probably try to buy like a 2.0 somewhere at a which is harder to do, but just find a really low grade, couple $100 for a nice cover that's complete. I mean, I bet you that cover was like a 9.0 or better if it still had that chunk. It was, God, it was beautiful. And it was a Mark Jewelers.
Hell, why would you sell for a 2.0, dude? You can get a 3.0 for like, I bet in 6 months you can get a 3.0 or a 3.5 for like $500.
Because it's I like it, but it's not worth spending an absorbent amount of money either, right?
But I'm saying if you were going to spend $250 for a 2.0 and you could get a 3.5 for $500, like
I would rather spend $250.
That's a no brainer.
Nah, I would rather just spend the $250. because it's one that I just want, right? So it's not that I want to. I would rather spend the 250 and then have another 250 for a Spider-Man 1 at some point soon. You know what I mean? So, and
I mean, if
that's like the
250 is
grab.
making the difference when you buying a Spider-Man 1, then you're not buying a Spider-Man 1
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, Ryan, I sold the Punisher. That was a whole ordeal. But look, guys, don't leave. Ryan, we did it. I posted a Q&A and he asked for one thing. It's all he wants. Actually, I should have clipped me and him singing it. That's the good old days, guys. Which cover? Spider-Man Annual? Yes. I love it for the pinups on the inside. I fell in love. That book has no significance to me outside of the artwork on the inside. The pinups were beautiful. The story was good, but the pinups to me blew my mind. I remember still back in January reading that and just falling. It was like the first time you see your wife and you're like, okay, I'm going to marry her. Like Justin, whenever he was was it a snow ditch or something when you saw your wife? Is that what it was?
Do you want me to tell the story again?
You can, but it was like that first time, dude. You're like, wow, I'm falling in love with Silver Age Spider-Man when I saw those.
Yeah. For me,
Yeah,
Justin was in a snow ditch.
No, not at all. If I have to tell the story again, you guys are going to be like, all right. So, Dustin, tell your book, and then I'll.
I was gonna say I'm not real sure. I picked up some really good ones this year, but I have noticed Fantastic Four #5 is getting mighty damn close.
$4,500 today. I saw one for
3,700. It dropped to, or 3,500. It dropped to. And I had just messaged Jeff and said, dude, I'm so tempted to make a $3,500 offer on this damn book. And then 2 hours later, they dropped the price. I was like, oh, you bastards.
somebody needs money fast.
Yeah. So, and that the reason why I wanted to grab it is because it doesn't come up for sale. That book is more that Fantastic Four #5. There are less copies of that than there are Fantastic Four #1 and Amazing Fantasy 15 combined, I bet. I mean, it is that hard to find.
Maybe hard to find, but I don't think print wise.
As far as what's available, like what is out there in the wild, I bet you it is.
Yeah, I bet you
it's
people
more.
are hoarding them. But go ahead.
I'm not even talking about hoarding. I'm just talking about like available. I mean, people held on to the #1 because it's #1, but I mean, how many times do we buy a #1 and by the time you get to #5, you're just like, just toss it in the box, you know? But so yeah, I mean, if that one was to be a grand cheaper than what I saw it today, then some shit would have happened. Like, there's no way. There's no way.
ASM3 is a
ultimate
good one
goal
too.
Who?
ASM3.
Nah, it's trash.
Dustin's just a Spider-Man hater, and that's only because
I would love for
he's not
FF1.
sophisticated.
I'd love for FF1 to get. If I could get an FF1, like a 1.5 for $5,000, I would consider it. Nah, I'd want a 2.0 for $5,000 probably, but there's no effing way. No effing way. I think I saw a 1.8 for sale day for like 10, so F me.
Yeah.
But,
I don't think it's dropping that.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, if I can get 2 through 10, then I'll be okay with my 8.0 record reprint that came out 4 years after the original #1.
Yeah.
So, all right. I think that takes care of. Oh, I saw Norrin Rad. Is it possible to press a dent out of a metal book? To my knowledge, with my experience working with metal,
like a foil?
No, like a metal cover. Have you not seen metal covers they come out with? Yeah,
No.
they're like legit metal covers.
I've seen glass ones. I would think the metal ones would. I guess maybe it's super thin metal.
Yeah, you're not gonna just press that out. Yeah, I'm gonna say no. You know, our dad's is a metal fabricator, and so I've seen firsthand the amount of heat it takes to remove slight dents and imperfections in metal, you would have to put a torch to it and bang it out like with a hammer and or something like it.
What is the book? Because I'm curious to see it.
There's metal covers for everything, dude.
I've literally never heard
metal
of it. Have you,
covers
Justin?
are the new foil. Like they're doing them for everything.
Justin, have you heard of these?
Metal covers?
Yeah, or am I just crazy?
No, I've heard of them. They're they tend to be like store exclusives, I think.
So like, there's probably going to be 15 Ninja Funk store exclusive metal covers.
Yeah, I think that's been my experience with them.
Like Source Point Press was,
Yes.
is it Source Point Press? They were at Heroes and they had the We Live metal covers, which Justin and I recently found out. The ones that they themselves bring to the cons are different from the ones that everybody was able to buy and are extremely expensive for that We Live #1 that I was looking at for like $25. And I think 9/8 are going for like 500 plus. And I was like, well, FML. But yeah, to my knowledge, man, it'd be a better man than me if somebody was able to get it out with a press.
You ought to buy some and just.
But I know that they have wood covers too. Because I know Jeff said that. Check this out. So Jeff called me the week before Thanksgiving, and one of our friends submitted a wooden cover. Front and back is a wood, and also a metal that was front and back. On the wooden cover, I swear to God, the grader's notes, because it got a 9.6, the grader's notes said that it had spine ticks.
That's wild.
Wooden cover, front and back, had spine ticks. The metal cover said that it had stress lines and got a 9.6. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Spine ticks on a damn wooden cover. Y'all can get all the way the hell out of here with that bull crap. Like he's on some crazy mess talking about spine stress lines and spine ticks on something like that. Y'all are crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. But let's see. Okay, everybody's back.
So do you guys think that old guy artists, Wrights and Adams, etc., will die with my generation, or do you think young people in their 20s will get it? So I'm in my 20s still. Shocker. I know I don't look like it with this beautiful stash and this lock of beards here, but I'm just going to show you my.
I think he means like 20 years from now, are people going to like.
No.
Their stuff.
Oh, okay. So
no. I'm reading it as in the next generation of collectors when they hit their 20s. Will they appreciate?
I don't think it will.
He's literally saying in 20 years from now, right here.
I know, but if you look at his first one,
I know, but he was saying that this is what he means. Gotcha. So I was just clearing it up for you guys.
Yeah, no, I don't think it will. I'm a huge fan. I know there are so many other people that are huge fans. I think these are never going to be replaced by anything modern, in my opinion. The stuff that Adams, Ditko, I literally bought these strictly for Adams artwork, right? And I know Dustin does too. Ditko, all of those guys. I mean, Starlin's what got me into comic books. So I think as people, like me, continue to buy and talk and as long as there's a few, I think it'll hold. A few people,
I think maybe the ones like Nick showed, those will probably like flake out a little bit. But like when you start talking about like some real Neil Adams badassness like this, then you're really talking about like
it's gonna
live forever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's really not a comparison between the two of these, but
what is that? 222? 227? 227. So like they're barely like get out of here.
I mean, one is an homage to literally what could quite possibly be claimed as the most iconic Batman cover.
Yeah, an homage, not the original. This is his original design, bitch.
One is just a Joker.
I love this book. I'm so happy I have this.
No, I want to.
I actually bought that the day he passed.
Yeah, I want a copy of that too. Yeah, I bought that 227. I bought that like 2 months before he died.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
But I mean,
I think
don't
so.
know. I guess it just depends on where their influence to get into comic books comes from. I
Yeah.
think that's a big point. A big part of it is where their influences come from. What gets them into comic books? What holds them in comic books? Because like I know Nick and I, we kind of look at it the same. Like we got into it, and you know we don't want to. We got to the point, both of us, where we wanted to understand the history behind this medium, and the more that we began to dive into that, whether it was like Nick did with jumping into reading everything Spider-Man, or like I did originally, where I was just collecting the artwork, collecting Neil Adams artwork, collecting Jack Kirby artwork, Maurice Severin and the Buscema brothers. And, you know, like we both went about it different ways, but we both dove into collecting history. And so I think if you have people later down the road that have that same mindset, and not just, you know, what's on the hot 10 list, or, you know, how low print count is this exclusive, then yeah. But I think a lot of that's starting to kind of get rejected a little bit right now anyway, where people are kind of over that. They're just kind of seeing that it's really gotten to be what is that called? Fickle? No. The really exclusive market, like where, you know, the books come out and it's like, yay, and then like 2 weeks later it's like, they're in the shitter, you know, 90% of the time. They're you know, it's a very quick and fragile thing with that kind of stuff. So I mean, I really think it just depends on you know, where their influences come from, what gets them into it, and what keeps them there.
But I don't think it'll ever die. Justin, what do you think?
I think what happens a lot of times, and I'm hopeful this is what happens, is that I know myself, once I get into something, I want to learn everything there is about it. So I start going back and looking at the history of whatever it is that I'm into. And by learning that stuff, that's where the interest, or the sort of love or passion for those older artists come from. So I think as long as you have people who are interested in comics, they're always going to be interested in that history of comics, and they're always going to want to go back and look at the people who sort of shaped and molded,
the pioneers,
laid the foundation, or exactly the pioneers of especially at this point, Marvel Silver Age.
Yeah, for sure. I'll tell you guys.
Truthfully, it doesn't really matter, because in about, I don't know, let's say 30 years, comics won't exist. They'll all have been replaced by manga.
You know, I was talking to John today while I was at the shop, and he's about to implement an entire manga section at the store. He's like, I have to at this point. I was like, yeah. I said, it's a good business decision. I was like, it sucks you have to do that, but but I mean, you know, that's getting to be a big part of what's going to keep comic shops afloat, is you know, adapting to this manga craze. So,
well, that's a long story. Justin, I
really we've
he's being sarcastic.
We've talked about why it's so appealing so many times. Like I don't want to beat that horse again.
I'll tell you guys what, I finally
nice
this week dove back into reading The Walking Dead. I've had the omnibus that I bought since we were since I got them a couple of months ago, and I've been so busy, and then the only thing I was reading was Fantastic Four, and I just got to the point where I was just like, I kind of wanted to change of pace, so
yeah,
I jumped back into reading Walking Dead, and oh man, I swear, I sat there and I thought I'd only been reading for like 20 minutes. I've been reading for like almost 2 hours, and I just could not stop, and I love it so much. Now I want to have like 2 or 3 days to just lock this door up here and sit right here and just read my all my Walking Dead omnibus. Like that's all I want to do. It's such an awesome story. So good. And it like it's awesome because like when you can flip a page and then from one panel on the previous from the last panel on the page you just read to the first panel of the next one, everything just gets turned up to 11. Like, oh my God, like she just shot that dude right in the neck, and then Michonne just chopped the dude's hands off. Like, where the hell did they come from? It's cool. I love it. But
you guys want to guess what I've been reading?
oh my God. Mangas?
No,
Oh, for real?
for real, yeah.
I don't know. We haven't talked to you in months. What
I
are you
know.
reading?
Currently I'm reading, and I'm kind of sort of addicted to it. If I wasn't doing this right now, I would be upstairs reading it now. I've been reading the 2005 Jeff Johns Green Lantern series.
Oh, so good. Dude, you
I've
got to
never
read
had
that.
any interest to jump into any Green Lantern anything.
Look, Jeff Johns and Justin, how far along are you?
Star Sapphire just came back.
Okay. So super good. Jeff Johns, for all the hate he gets now, is a phenomenal comic book writer. But like his Green Lantern stuff, what he did with Justice League. Oh, dude, talking my language. I'm into it.
Yeah, I really want to read that and then read Blackest Night because I've never read Blackest Night. So like I feel like I want to start at the beginning and then just go into it.
Yeah.
Didn't you have who was it that wrote the Swamp Thing that did you hear that everybody talks about? Was that Jeff Johns?
Alan Moore?
Alan Moore, that's who it is. Yeah, that's something that I've been wanting to dive into after talking to Mark and a couple
his
other people
readings
about it.
is difficult.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alan Moore. Yeah. I mean, have you read any of his stuff, Justin?
Yeah, I've read Watchmen, Killing Joke. I know there's more. I just can't. V for Vendetta. Did I read V for Vendetta?
Did you read any of his Swamp Thing?
No, I've not read any of his Swamp Thing.
So outside of Killing Joke, that's what I tried to read with his Swamp Thing thing. But for me, it was kind of like whenever I tried to jump into Chris Claremont's X-Men, it was like a lot. And that was before I really started reading a ton of Silver Age. So I should probably try to go back and read it, but
Yeah.
it's different.
Yeah, I wanted to try to read some more DC stuff at some point, and Swamp Thing was something that I've talked to, I've talked to Jim about it. I've talked to Mark about it, a couple other people, and so that was something I thought about jumping into. I've gotten on a really big Carmine Infantino kick here lately, though. Like, man, his Batman is just awesome. I love his Batman covers so damn much. So I don't know. I've kind of been on DC kick lately.
I also started reading Titans from the DC Rebirth because
Interesting.
I've read everything that I could read from Nightwing that's available on DC Infinite without having an Ultra subscription. And I'm like, oh man, I really like this. What else has he appeared in? And it was Titans. And
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Since Titans seems to be more Wally West focused,
Yeah.
and because those two issues of the Flash that I lettered were Wally West based, like I'm really starting to get kind of interested in Wally West
no.
as a character.
No.
Oh.
He's still subpar.
Sorry.
Subpar.
No,
He's the
man.
third best Flash.
Nah. I'm starting to become Team Wally.
You're hurting my feelings here, guys. I have a video out. All you got to do is type in like Two Brothers Comics, why Wally West is not the best Flash or is the best Flash, something like that. It's a really in-depth video I work pretty hard on. I'll try to find the link and I'll drop it in the comments for you guys. But that hurts my heart. Oh man. Oh, so my brother-in-law Logan, has been reading like all Nightwing stuff too, and he's hunting down a few of these trades. But he said it's phenomenal. So
of the current stuff, right?
I don't remember how far back. Let me see.
I heard the current stuff. It was like Steve, which
Oh no, not the most
wouldn't be
recent one.
biased at all, but I mean, Steve raves about the current Nightwing, and I've heard a lot of people talk about the current Nightwing too, though.
So I've read a lot of the current Nightwing, and it's okay. But I didn't finish
Starting
it.
when?
So he's looking for Nightwing year 1.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, but anywho's, yeah, I'm glad to hear though that you're reading something in the comic book world. It makes me happy.
Mhm.
So two things real quick before we get into the big topic.
Juan, I would say Gil Kane or Marie Severin.
What do you think, Justin?
I think that, I mean, can you really consider Gil Kane least appreciated? I feel like, I don't know. That seems like a weird
I
pick.
think he's pretty underrated, dude. I don't
What
ever hear
about-
anybody talk about him except me.
What about that
Same with
Aquaman
Marie
artist?
Severin.
The
Oh, that-
Aquaman artist is
Nick
he?
Cardy.
He's more
No, Nick Cardy.
silver?
Nick Cardy's big, but a lot of his biggest stuff was Silver Age. Yeah.
I had never heard his name until that night.
Oh yeah. I've talked about him for a long time.
Never heard his
Yeah.
name. He's not up there, and I think he is truly a wonderful artist.
Yeah, a lot of his stuff that was like
Yeah.
a lot of his really, really like to me. And it's like I told John, I think Nick Cardy on Aqua, we get lucky when certain artists find that character.
Yeah.
When they get on that run and you get to see them really show out and show their ass and how
Yeah.
good they are. You got Jack Kirby on Captain America or Thor. And to me, the equivalent of that is Nick Cardy on Aquaman is just that is I mean, you got Neil Adams with Batman.
Yeah.
Nick Cardy on Aquaman, like that is his shit. Like Nick Cardy's Aquaman. Nick Cardy is the only reason why Aquaman Silver Age stuff is even cool or collectible. Because if you look at it, the only ones worth money are his covers.
Yeah.
Aquaman 1 ain't worth shit, hardly.
Yeah.
But if you go try to find, I forget the issue number, but it's the one that I'm looking for in really high grade. Like you can't find it in a high grade. When you do, it is stupid expensive.
So,
I
real
agree,
quick.
Juan. I agree. I've always thought that. I think he was just a product of the time, and it just the name and the popularity and stuff. I think it just carried over. Is just like he's just well known.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Cool.
I've never really seen. I've never seen anything of Frank Miller's that I said I gotta have that.
Go ahead, Justin.
I've got my answer.
Oh God.
John Romita Jr.
Get the hell out of here.
He gone. How do I kick him?
He's underrated because he sucks.
Yeah, I would say most overrated. He was fine early. Whatever it is he's doing now, God bless him. He just, I'm not even going to get into it. I'm changing the topic because that's just a
John Romita Jr.'s talent left the building like in the late 80s, early 90s.
Anywho,
now.
So check this out. So this is the first kind of sneak peek at Batman Spawn. Somebody mentioned it earlier. I was just going to show you guys. Todd shows off the first few panels here on the tweets. And so, yeah, just thought I'd share it out. Look at that.
We can't see anything.
Oh, yeah. No, dang it. Hold on.
I can see it.
How about now?
Now I don't see it now.
Hold on. Dang it.
You're sharing the wrong page.
Hold on.
Way to go, stupid.
I know. 1 second.
And guys, as soon as he gets done showing this off, we're going to jump into our topic for the night. So
There we go.
you guys just hold tight.
Look at that beautiful lettering done by Tom Napolitano.
Not as good as JB, but it's good. Look at this.
Dude, Tom is
Is he the GOAT?
Tom is how do I describe this?
The greatest of all time?
He's younger than me, and yeah.
Has he been doing it longer?
Yes,
Yeah, but you started late in life.
that's true. I am.
Yeah,
pretty late
you're
in life.
still a junior.
So, hey, man, I'm not asking for a pep talk.
You still have plenty of time, Justin.
To do what?
You still have plenty of time to do whatever it is you want to
Your health
do.
isn't going to be like detrimental to you for at least another 10, 15 years, bro. You're good.
Yeah. By the way,
Wait.
when do you turn 40? Is it this year or next year?
2023.
No way.
Yeah,
We're coming up for the party.
we're having
Already-
a party.
I mean, I already told you we needed to make a trip up there. So.
No, but his party is going to be what, September 16th?
September 4th. What? Well,
Your
I'll look at
birthday.
the calendar. I'll let you know. I'll tell Liz. Sorry, can't celebrate my birthday with you because you know.
Well, I'm not saying we have to be there, at night, but if there's a 40th birthday party that they're open to people coming to, that's fine. Or you could come to Lexington and we could celebrate your birthday party, or we could just,
I'm just saying.
do our
if we
own
go to
birthday
Justin's
weekend.
house for a 40th birthday party.
What now?
I'm coming. If we go to Justin's for a 40th birthday party, I'm coming and I'm getting naked. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't-
Everyone
you do that,
has been
and I'll
warned.
make sure to hide the peanut butter so that you don't get any ideas with my dog.
all right. It got weird. Let's talk about Spawn now.
I'm not a peanut butter guy.
Look at that. That looks
I
good.
know you're not, but Kirby is.
Oh my God. Look how good this looks, guys. I'm very excited. And then here was the other thing I wanted to share with you guys. This was a very opinionated post, and I'm trying
Mine's
to get
in grading and encapsulation, Sindang.
screen, Chrome tab.
We're going to do a video
All right, so tell me what you guys think about this, because let me know if you can't hear it. But this was like, I get where he's coming from, but I wasn't sure how I felt about it.
on where the signature should go. Now, I'm going to show you this, but I'm going to pick up this book very carefully. Here's the rule.
Here's the rule.
Assume that your cover is a parking lot, and you're going to go into Walmart and you're going to go shop, and it's freezing outside. So you need to find the best parking spot, right? So everything on here is either got a car in it or it's empty. Now, if I'm looking at this and I was going to park my car, would I park my car in this opening that they gave me? No. Why? Because there's cars parked everywhere. Look at all the artwork. Over here, artwork, that's cars parked. Over here, look at over here, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody's parking over here. This is empty right here. This would have been perfect. Somebody wants a signature down here on top of all the cars when I could do it right here in the open lot, right up in here.
That's a shitty
Just
place
go
for
for
it,
the
Todd.
empty space. Look at, here's another one. Gently, Todd. Look at right
Yeah,
here. Here's
gently,
an empty
Todd,
spot
because you
right
know
here.
everybody knows
Boom.
how you mishandle books. Be
Just
so
pause
find
it.
the
Pause
negative
it for 1
space and
second.
cut out the negative space. And the bigger the negative space,
buck
the
up in a
Go
hot
ahead.
second, boy, I tell you what.
First off, that man is delusional if he thinks he's fitting his signature in the spaces that he is pointing out.
Well, you have to remember, he did cut his signature down by 3 letters.
Even so, it's not fitting in those spots.
Well, and that, like, the corner, the top corner, like, that's a shitty spot. Like, I would, like, and like, I get where he's coming from. You know, he is the artist. He put the art there, and, he doesn't want to write over his own art. I get it. But, at the same time, like,
Dude, man, you don't want to cover.
Let's let him finish.
bigger of a signature I'm going to give you. Right? Come on, this is easy.
I
Come
love that
on,
they-
this is easy.
I love that they put the Todd McFarlane signature up there, knowing damn well that ain't what you're
Yeah.
getting. Also, for everybody who did this submission for the Todd McFarlane signing, if you're not aware, I'm letting you know now. You see this CGC sticker right here? Yeah, if you got the Todd McFarlane labels, that's going to cover up 3/4 of it. You're not even going to get to see it. So we all got bamboozled on that bullshit.
Ooh,
That's
who didn't pay the
fantastic.
$5 for that?
That's fantastic. And don't worry, I'm sure they'll get it fixed. It only took them like 5 years to fix the Fantastic Four one where they were covering up half the team with their dumbass sticker. Why that sticker can't go on the back of the book, like, I don't know, right here where they don't put a damn thing at all? makes no sense. It's just stupid, and I don't understand how hard it is for the left hand to coordinate with the right hand on these labels. But just like everything else CGC does, it's nobody talks to each other.
Well, and so my thing is kind of like what B. Ramey said, his ego thing. And look, keep in mind, I'm one of the world's biggest Todd McFarlane fans. I think he's the greatest of all time. But that kind of caught me off the wrong way. I'm like, I get it, but I don't know. It just seemed a bit aggressive. If that was my book he was showing and talking crap about it, it would have made me feel about that tall, because the artist that I love, and maybe this guy doesn't care. Maybe they're just flipping the signature.
Yeah, if that was my book, I would have been like, or you could just shut up and sign my book. I mean, make your millions of dollars you're about to make and just shut up.
Yeah.
Like, come on, you were in a room just doing this as much as possible for the next 2 weeks. Like, is it really going to bother you or eat away at your soul that you signed your name over a cover of your signed your name over your own artwork? Like, seriously, like, how highly do you think of yourself?
But I'll also say, like, at the same time, if I'm not a big signature guy, but there are certain things that I've gotten signed. This book behind me, and this is a good one to even use as reference. Like, I wanted this cover signed, and I wanted Steranko's signature right here.
Yeah.
Right out in front of the knee in the fire was the most perfect signature placement for that book. And that's what I got. Now, this one here, I hate the signature placement. I think if they were gonna, if this was my book and I had it signed, I would have just scooted it up and over a little bit and had it done right here on the moon. That way it's a little more visible. I think that would have been a good place for it if you're gonna have it signed. But I mean, in all reality, like, I'm just kind of like, it doesn't really matter all that much to me that he said that. I mean, the grand scheme of things, like, his ass is gonna sign the book in the damn square. And I've said it many, many times. If you're gonna send your book in to get signed, do not use those damn CGC bags that they want you to use.
We have a video on how to do it. Do it my way.
Those things are trash. They are junk.
Did you do a review of them? You should.
I mean, I could, yeah. It leaves way too much of your damn book open for them to just wherever the hell they want. Like, if you're one of the people that where you want it is where you want it, then you need to rein the artist in and give them this much space to do it. I wished I'd kind of known about that when I got my first book signed. I've talked about it many times with JDF. I handed in my book, and he started on this corner and wrote 2... and he was like, "Oh, that's not a good spot." So he goes to the other side down here and finishes the signature and writes Dustin, and then writes his signature. So I've got TO ... and then way over here the rest of the signature, and I'm like,
that is hilarious.
Well, thanks a lot, Jason. I appreciate it, but I've been testing with removing signatures.
I bet you paint pens wouldn't be too difficult.
I was gonna say paint pens. So I'm probably gonna try to remove that 2 part. And honestly, I'll probably remove my name because I don't want just my name randomly right here. But I wish that it, the 2 and the Dustin were in the same spot, because then I would have just left it, because I like that he personalized that one. That was my first time meeting him. I'm not gonna sell the book.
Well, now it's a story though, so maybe don't remove it.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's jump into the topic.
Yeah, let's jump into the topic.
Why manga is better than comic books, and Dustin is wrong.
Here we go.
I'm just kidding. We're not going to do that. I mean, we could, but we're not. So
I've got some mangas sitting over here. I mean,
I had to move and start a second shelf. It's getting big.
That's what she said.
Hey, Justin, I sent a link over for our birthday party plans for your 40th.
Yeah, I saw that.
All right, guys. So if you see, I got a poll going on in the chat. So if you haven't voted, go ahead and vote. And we're going to go into a couple of different subjects inside of our main topic. and I'm going to put up a different poll for each one. So just be paying attention for that. The first one we're going to talk about is pressing and cleaning. And the main reason I wanted to talk about this is I've seen multiple times comments in our videos, people very upset about the fact that pressing and cleaning exists and that it is done so much, and that there's no way for them to tell if they're purchasing a book that has been pressed or cleaned. They consider it restoration, and they think it is terrible. And so I just thought that would be something cool to talk about. And we're going to get into a couple other things as well. But I figured we could just kind of get on this for a minute and see what everybody in the chat thinks, see what you guys think. Pressing and cleaning, bad thing, good thing. Do you consider it restoration? And why? So, Justin, what do you think, man?
All right. Do you want my honest opinion?
Yeah.
I do not. Okay. As someone who has had their books pressed and cleaned,
very well,
I do not consider pressing and cleaning restoration until CGC does.
Which they won't, because they are in bed with a big company that does it. Not very well, but they do it.
So
when they do it themselves,
until they say it's restoration.
No, it's not CGC. They are literally a partner with a company called CCS.
Oh, I always thought it was like an entity underneath.
I don't think so. I think that they're a separate company that they just use.
Yeah.
It's basically.
You know what they need? They need comic book chiropractor. They need that CCS, comic book chiropractor service.
CBC and CGC.
I think.
Nah, I don't want that kind of volume. The hell with that. No, because then no, because you guys would be begging for CCS turnaround times, because mine would be like 4 years before you get your book back, because I'm not going. I refuse to sacrifice the effort I'm going to put into a book for a turnaround time. Like, what do you want? You want a shit grade, or do you want your book to be top notch as it's ever going to be? So that would definitely be a problem. But let's get back to the topic.
I was going to say, I always love whenever people ask about stuff and I can pull out my books and look at them, because I never do that often.
That's why I put mine on the walls, dude. I got sick of that. But what's your thoughts, Nick?
My thoughts? I think, if we're being, I think a pure press, mild clean, not really restoration. Some of the current things that people are now doing and figuring out, I would certainly say would be a form of restoration.
Like what?
Like, do you want me to say?
Yeah, go. Yeah,
washing comic books.
Okay.
You can do that?
Oh yeah.
Like,
do you want to see a photo? I won't share it publicly.
How do you wash a comic?
With water for 4.5 hours.
We're not talking like a moisture tank or something like that, right?
No, like straight bath.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like a constant waterfall for hours.
Interesting.
So why would you consider it restoration?
Because you're removing years worth of mold, mildew, water stains. You're technically restoring the book, right? And removing all of those things. I think, honestly, if we're being very candid, at the core of it, I think even pressing and cleaning is a mild form of restoration. Now, if we're talking about paint touch-ups, re-gluing, that sort of deal, restapling, that's certainly restoration. But I guess we need to consider what are we considering restoration? What does that term actually mean? Are we talking it's going to get a purple label? Or if we're being very honest with ourselves, it is.
No, yeah. I'm not talking about like CGC and grading and shit like that. Yeah. Like just in general.
Yeah, I genuinely do think it is. At its core definition, it is restoration. You are restoring the comic book to a more new form.
New or original?
Original, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. Yeah. So, look, let's look up the actual.
I look at it like this. Well, go ahead. I'll let you.
I was going to say, let's look up the restoration definition. The action of returning something to a former owner, place, or condition. The return of a hereditary monarch to a throne. Okay, we're not looking for that. But yeah, so returning of something to a former condition. I think at the core of it, pressing, cleaning, all of that. Yeah. Maintenance is a good term for it, but yeah, I definitely. Justin, did that picture come through?
So here's my thoughts on it. And I can agree with what you're saying.
Holy crap!
Yeah, it's not a joke, dude. I'm not fucking around. But I'm telling you right now, I'm not opening that service up to everybody. And
that makes me nervous just seeing this.
Do you see what the book is?
How do you think I felt? I just spent over $1,000 on that thing.
And that's not the book. That is just the front wrap.
Yeah.
No,
been torn
no,
apart.
thank you. No, thank you. I can't. I'm getting anxious just thinking about it.
Yeah, that's
dude
not a
is
service I'm
wild.
going to be providing for people. Because if you were to come to me and say, hey, how much would it cost for me to get this done on my book? I would tell you $500 with a straight face and still feel like I'm probably getting a little gypped because of the amount of time and effort that goes into it. I think it took us 14 hours. And that was before the pressing even started.
So something in that scenario, what we're talking about, guys, is like he was mentioning, like a waterfall. It's pretty interesting, and there's a lot more to it. But
yeah,
I mean, something at that level, it would have to be worth thousands before you started, and tens of thousands after, or it'd have to be a very considerable jump to even go through the time and effort.
Yeah, I was gonna say it wouldn't have to be like tens of thousands, but it would have to be something that once it's done, it's gonna be worth at least double, if not triple, or something that's just that important to you that you really want it to look its best.
Yeah. Like there's no.
Yeah, and that's
not doing that to a $50 book.
Yeah, that was the case with this book that we did that too. It was just something that I knew we could bump. I knew I could do something with it. So, and honestly, it was we wanted to test what was on that book to see how well it did because that was something we hadn't been able to get a hold of yet. So, but anyway, so my thoughts on pressing and cleaning, are they restoration? While I agree, yes, by definition, it is definitely something you would have to consider to be some sort of mild restoration. However, I look at it this way as well. If your car gets dirty or your truck gets dirty and you run it through the wash, what do you call that?
I think
pressing would be more relevant or more.
I'm going to get to that. I'm talking.
No. I'm saying if we're going to make the car comparison, I think that would be more equivalent to pulling out a dent.
Well, and that was what I was going to say. My wife's car had a dent on it, and I grabbed a plunger and literally pulled it out. Is that considered restoration?
Yeah. So I think technically, yeah.
But at the same time, if we're talking about like a 67 and a, or is it 68 and a half or 67 and a half Mustang, like one of the most rare Mustangs. Obviously you want everything all original. But people don't freak out because you didn't leave it as this rusted hunk of shit that looks like crap.
No, but in the car market, it's
nothing.
called restoring the common,
right?
and restoring the
that's
car.
Kind of what I'm getting at. Like, why do we have this opinion and these feelings against us when in every other avenue of the world, when you take an old classic car and you use all the original parts and you restore it back to as close to original condition as you can, and every piece of it is original, it's worth 1,000 times more than the rusted piece of crap you found it in as. But with a comic book collector, 90% of comic book collectors would rather you let a book sit and dissipate and rot and deteriorate before they would want you to save that book. And I'm just, and we're going to get into restoration here in a minute, but I mean, if if I can take a book like say that Submariner 8 that I did recently, or that Daredevil book I did recently, where they got water all over them, and it just, I mean, they looked terrible, and you know, the book looked pitiful, but I pressed it and I got done with it, and it looks like a completely different book. I mean,
Yeah.
it presents fantastically. Now these the guy that had the Daredevil book, he didn't even want it clean, or he didn't even want it graded. He just wanted to have a more presentable copy. So while yes, I can definitely agree that, you know, at its core, pressing and dry cleaning is absolutely you restoring the book back to its original condition, or as close to it as you can get. But my issue with it is, why is that a problem though?
Yeah.
Why is that something that you would not want? You're not adding anything, you're not taking anything away that wasn't there to begin with. So that's something that I've always found to be, you know, even before I started doing this, I would see people like always, like in Facebook groups and everything, just shitting all over it. And I'm like, you know, I never heard anybody explain why though, other than, you know, you get a couple guys, oh, it's restoration. Okay. But elaborate, like, what is it about it that pisses you off so much that you would just assume throw the book in the trash as have it in your collection, just over a simple press and clean? I thought it was crazy. I mean, you know, it just something that I couldn't understand, and I have yet to have anybody who feels that way, you know, explain. And that's all I want. Like, I'm not saying that you're crazy. I'm just saying, like the idea of that, of feeling that way, just seems outlandish to me. And I think it's okay to have that feeling if you have yet to had anybody that will step up and explain their reasoning for it. So, you know, that's how I feel about that. You know, I think pressing and cleaning is definitely something that, you know, it feels like the book is a fraud.
How so? So go a little more in depth on that. So
just from being pressed or clean.
So for me, I think, and Justin, what do you think? I mean, from a mild press, and obviously you do it, so not a big deal. But I don't think that's a big deal. But once we get into color touch, tapes, book matching,
we'll get into that
sealing
next.
staples, that kind of thing, that's where I would rather have it not done. You know what I mean? And I'm certainly not going to buy one with a purple label unless it's like an amazing book for a cheap price.
Right. You say that now because it's a purple label. If CGC comes out tomorrow and says, hey, guys, some color restoration is okay, have at it. Does your opinion on it change?
I don't. Right. Like, that's the same reason why I got rid of the really beautiful 129 I had, because it wasn't complete. And I feel like when you add the color touch, or if, you know, when people marry pages or marry books from different things, that to me doesn't feel right. You know what I mean?
Well, and I don't want to get into that quite yet, because we're going to get into that. Air Spider says it's not an upfront actual example of the book. It's been tampered with. Well, I would argue that if you bought a book off the shelf and it gets creased or indented, then it's been tampered with and is not an upfront example of the book when it was published and printed. I mean, so, I mean, you know, I think with that argument, like, I would argue that the pressing and cleaning would honestly get it back, would get it closer to the actual example of the book. If we're talking about straight off the shelf, straight out of the press, I mean, or off the press, I mean, like when it was printed. An actual example of the book you're purchasing, don't know the real history of the specific book in your hand. I mean, yeah, I get that, but I mean, what do you guys think of? I mean, you're not going to get that on anything, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's just such a hairy area there. I mean,
Yeah, and you do say pressing can revert, and it absolutely can, especially like a quick press or something like that. When a press is done very well in the right, like what Dustin's doing, his pressing he's doing is not going to revert.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just it's not going to happen.
Stuff yeah, if somebody presses out something and then it reverts back, um, yeah, there was no time spent on that, and yeah, that will happen, absolutely. But if it's done right, then it will never revert. Like there's, it's just it's not going to. The reason why it reverts is because paper has memory, and in order for that to go away, you have to give it the time. You have to create new paper memory, and a 30-minute press from CCS so that they can get to the next one is not going to give you that. So, and sometimes, sometimes it takes a little more than just adding some heat and some pressure to it. Sometimes you have to add some moisture. Sometimes you have to roll over those dents and stuff, and really put some effort into them and some work on them in order to make that not come back. But not everybody's going to do that. People who have so much volume that they have to cut the amount of time they're spending on the books in order to keep up with how much they've got to do.
His 9.8 turned into a green label. See the return of Justin Birch. That is funny though. His 9.8 house turned into a green label. Cheers to you on that one. What are you drinking?
This is the official beer of Justin Birch. It's called Natty Bow.
I thought you were about to say Natty Light.
No, Natty Bow is the Natty Light of Baltimore.
Oh Lord.
It's like
okay,
the finest cheap beer. Like I don't know how to describe it.
It's probably like the PBR of the South.
Yeah.
It's cheap. I like it.
So to finish up, just talking about the mirror pressing and cleaning, back to the car thing, and just to kind of touch back on Air Spider, and I'm not like I'm not arguing or like I said, we wanted to be an open conversation, and you guys definitely give your thoughts and opinions. We appreciate it, but it like I said, I compared it to a vehicle. I just bought a 2022 brand new truck, and I got in a wreck. Well, I'll be damned if I'm going to want to drive around in a brand damn new truck and both of the doors and one of the quarter panels is all destroyed. So, I'm getting that fixed. But they're replacing doors and all kinds of shit. But that's not the same as if you bought a brand new vehicle and somebody, shopping cart just hits it and it doesn't scratch it, but it pushes a dent into your front quarter panel. Would you, if you like I did that with my wife's car. I looked at it and I was like, well, dang, I can pull that out with a plunger. Like, so would you rather leave that dent in there because it's that's something that's a part of the history and of that car? Would you leave it in there because you don't want it to be something that's removed? It was a historical incident on that vehicle, or if you could pull out a plunger and just pop it out, like you would do that. So that's just kind of how I look at it as far as just the pressing and cleaning goes. I definitely agree that there is, by definition, it would be considered some form of restoration. But at the same time, I think as far as restoration goes,
I think the severity of it is kind of for a lot of people, right? Like a simple press clean, no biggie. Yeah. I think once you get into replacing staples, I start having, even though I know people do it, and like people are very proud of doing it.
Yeah.
I start to question that a little bit. I'm not a fan at all. And then I think from that point on, I'm not a fan, right? I think when you start of restorations, when you start color touching, when you start,
and we'll go ahead and just jump straight in. We'll just jump right in right now. We'll jump into restoration. So go ahead. And we're talking at this point like restoration,
like
like
CGC restoration.
purple label worthy restoration.
Yeah. So, and I think, I mean, really, it kind of starts at Staples and Color Touch as like mild restoration, right? And then severe.
Staples won't give you restoration.
I thought they'll give you, or is that a green? What? No, if they catch you swapping
No,
Staples,
you
it
get
is not a blue
conserved.
label.
It's conservation.
Conservation. Okay, so I'm kind of.
So we're gonna get into that next.
I'm consolidating the two. So, okay, what about like page swaps or marrying books? I guess there's not a great way for them to know that. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it just that just depends on who's the person doing it. You know, like I know Bubs married the back cover of some random book to his Daredevil 1, and they didn't even catch it. He got a blue.
yeah,
label.
and see, like, if it's your book and you have no intentions of selling it and you just want a complete grade, sure, whatever. But I'm like, if I found out, I bought it, I would be pretty upset about that.
Yeah, I
Especially like a
definitely.
Daredevil one.
Yeah, I think that's one thing with restoration is if someone's not upfront with you about it,
Yeah.
then yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem for sure.
So
What do you think, Justin, about purple label worthy restoration?
I think purple labels are junk, and I hate them, and I wish I didn't own one.
Why though?
he's talking about his X-Men 1.
No, I'm talking about my X-Men 94, which was a 5.0 purple label. Except I may have picked up a 7.0 blue label.
I've never seen somebody get so excited about X-Men.
What was the question? I was researching.
Why do you hate the purple label?
Because CGC has told me that it's bad.
Yeah, see, and that's kind of what I was getting at. Like, I think a lot of people, and I won't say everybody because I know there's people out there that genuinely want all original on their comics, but I think a lot of people have just kind of come into be a part of the group think that, oh, it's the purple label, it's a piece of shit, it's worthless, you don't want that in your collection's trash if you have a purple label in it. You know, and I think that there's definitely, in my opinion, there's definitely exceptions to the rule as far as restoration goes, because I can tell you right now, if I climbed up in my attic tomorrow and I found an Action Comics #1 and the spine was completely split in half and you know the paper was you know falling apart, you can bet your ass I'm going to find the best fucking leaf casting person out there, and I'm going to have that book leaf casted so that it holds together and so the book stays whole. Because in for me personally, I would rather have that book stay together and hold together than it just go into just literally fall into dust. I mean, I think I think you know, and it's going to be a personal thing for everybody, but I mean, you know, Nick, if you had a shot at buying an AF-15 and the price was right in your price range because it's a purple label,
that would be the exception to my rule, right?
And that's what I'm saying. There's exceptions, and I think people don't want to talk about that.
So,
you know?
and what I was gonna say is like, so I am the people that I want a book complete original. You know, I don't mind press or clean or whatever. That's fine. But same thing with a car. I'm not gonna go buy a car with a bad Carfax unless that's the only way I can afford a vehicle, right? Where it's kind of, you're in that scenario, beggars can't be choosers. Well, if there's an AF-15 popping up, it's purple label, you know, depending on what it is. Like if it's just got tape all up and down and looks like trash, I probably still wouldn't.
Right.
But all things considered, high level purple label, I can afford it. It's my the grail of grails. Yes, I would buy it. Right. So
yeah, because there's a difference, and there's even a difference with the purple labels. If you guys ever look into it, there's a difference. There are tiers of restoration. I mean, you've got, you know, like that Hulk 2 I just did for Southern Comic Geek. You know, you've got the restoration where some jackass decides, you know what, half of the guy's face on the side over here got ripped off. I'm going to draw it in with a ballpoint pen. You know,
Yeah.
like, yeah, okay, that's a problem. You know, and you know, the guy drew the guy's face in and tried to draw his hair in, and then he tried to fill in beside Hulk's arm. And I'm like, why though? Why? You know,
Yeah.
but then you've also got the forms of restoration where it is an absolute, you know, top level professional, well done restoration. And some people like that. Some people want that great presentation of the book. And you know, if again, if I had the opportunity to buy a Fantastic Four #1 and it was a restored 9.0 and I could get it for 3.0 price,
Mm-hmm.
like we're talking about a book that presents like a 9.0 Fantastic Four #1. I give a shit if it's got restoration on it. The book looks beautiful. And if it's done professionally and done that well, okay. You know, I've got the book though. You know, would I rather have a restored 9.0 or a beat to shit 1.0 with a piece of the, you know, cover missing and tape all around it? And like, I'm taking that 9.0 restored all day long. I'm taking it all day long. Because, you know, the book is whole. It's there. Yeah. Somebody may have added some color touch to it, but if it was done professionally and it looks good, then I can be okay with that for sure. It's not going to bother me. But you know, since we've gotten into comics, all I've ever heard is, oh, it's the purple label of death. Oh, it's the purple label of death.
Justin, what is
And-
your thoughts on the purple label? Would you go out and buy them?
No, I wouldn't.
Even if it's like, I say the Grail. Like, do you even have a Grail anymore?
Yeah, I have a Grail.
What is your Grail?
Realistically or not realistically?
Both, one of each.
AF-15,
Okay, you can get that at some point. I know you can.
ASM-1.
That
Those are
okay? AF-15
trash-ass
for
books.
unrealistic one?
Yeah,
No, you can do that,
nah.
dude. You drop more money a year on freaking Hot Toys and comics than you
I
do.
can't believe you didn't set your goals higher for like better books.
I'm just shocked that you think you couldn't realistically do that. All you'd have to do is look, here I am sounding like a financial advisor or something. Just discipline down a little bit. Stop with the Hot Toys and the Marvel Legends and
He
the
just said he was
X-Men
going
and
to sell
ASM.
all the shit, and you told him no.
Don't sell it all, dude. That's stupid. That is a beautiful collection.
Sell it all, and send me your money.
Wait,
Justin.
okay. Can we just go on a side tangent real quick?
Super quick.
Okay, super quick. When I was having this discussion with Liz, this is why I'm leaning towards selling the toys. It's because I said the comics I look at as something that I could pass down to my kids and, you know, potentially future grandkids, right? I don't feel like I would pass the toys, the Hot Toys, stuff like that down to the kids.
But does it make you happy right now?
Some things in it do. A lot of it doesn't.
You really are over the Hot Toy thing already?
Yeah, I am.
That's because you literally bought them all.
Can you
So
promise to do this then, Justin? If you sell all your Hot Toys, will you please display some of your slabs in those cases back there then, and put your
No,
comic book collection on display so that you can enjoy it? Imagine how much
truthfully-
cooler it would be if you were able to enjoy your comics visually.
Truthfully, if I sell all of the toys, I'm selling the cases
Mm.
as well. So then I would put up shelves behind me to display the books.
Well, good.
he would
That
display
would
his
be good.
manga collection is what he's talking about.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
I tell you what, Justin, I'll make you a promise. If you sell all of your damn toys and put the majority of that money towards pressing and cleaning books, which obviously is going to go to me, I will buy at least one Hot Toy with some of that.
Actually, I now seems like a good time. Now seems like a good time to let you know that I'm going with a new presser.
Somebody local.
Okay, well,
No,
mhm.
whoever your biggest rival is, that's who I'm picking.
I have
What a
none
douche canoe.
on a level by myself, way down at the bottom.
All right,
Honestly,
so everybody's
what I
now
would
jumping
love
in
to
about the
do-
Hot Toys.
honestly, what I would love to do is get to the point where I've got
What up, Tyler?
5 good people that send in a good amount consistently enough, and just shut it off to everybody else. Like that's my end goal. Is I would just like to have 5 people I'm exclusive to, and not really open it up to everybody.
I still think you're nuts. I would not do it.
So anyway, back to the discussion on the restoration topics. You know, I know a lot of people have seen the leaf casting stuff, and while it does, you can tell when something has leaf casting done, because obviously the art and the that kind of stuff's not going to be there. But when you're talking about, you know, being able to put the front and back cover back together, and it's just a small smidgen down the back, down the middle, I think
It's one of us. Gobble, gobble, one of us. We accept that one of us. Gobble, gobble, one of us. We accept that one of us. Gobble, gobble.
Fat Daddy O with the membership.
Is
Shout
that
out
he-
to you, sir.
he just renewed,
Let me check. It could
because I
be
know
where
he's
he
in
ju-
there already.
It could be where he just rejoined to.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I should have ordered 10 Galactus sets. I mean, do you want me to
Angus,
drag out the
9-2
one that's
crew.
still in the box?
But you know, I think for me, the restoration, I'm okay with it. But like we talked about it, you know, it's going to be under certain circumstances. You know, I mean, I'm not going to go buy like this book. You know,
See?
I wouldn't
Boom.
want-
Don't know if he's been joined before, but thank you. You're
Awesome,
the man.
man. Thank you. We appreciate that for sure.
Yeah, and you we know you've been around for a while. That's why we weren't sure.
Yeah. I think he was a member at one point, because I
I
think he's in the
think
forgotten
so.
chat. I'm pretty sure he's in the forgotten chat.
If not, you will be now.
Yeah. But like this book right here, this is not a book that I think is so unattainable that and that is in such high demand, and in such value, and of such historical presence, that the restoration for me personally would be okay on it. Because I know that there's I can go to eBay, and there's probably 150 copies available in a bunch of different grades. But again, like I said, you know, you start talking about these megas, Fantastic, you know, not Fantastic Four, you know, Action 1, Tech 27.
One of us. We accept that one of us. Gobble, gobble,
Thanks,
one of
Dan.
us.
We appreciate you, man.
Uh-oh, it's not gonna stop. Not gonna stop.
You know, we don't see this very often anymore. Sometimes I forget it's even there.
25 months, 22 months. Thank you guys. But what I will tell you is Tyler is not wrong here. Team Nick is better than Team Dustin, and that's where we'll leave that.
Whatever.
No, the best one.
Jesus. Hey, we got
You did it! Congratulations!
At some point, we're gonna get back. Oh,
All
I need
right,
to send
so-
Tyler a message. Tyler, I'm gonna chat you real quick because I'm now the Liver King.
Oh Jesus. So yeah, I mean, you know, like I said, there's different forms of restoration, and for me personally, I think there's different levels of when it's okay, when it's not, and a lot of that's going to depend on the level of professional touch that's been done, and really just the level of book that we're looking at too. So, you know, you get some asshole that's just trying to, you know, get rid of some spine ticks with a Sharpie and pass it off, then, you know, F that guy. But you get someone who's taking something like an Action 1 or a Tech 27 and putting a lot of professional touch and effort into, you know, bringing that book back to life and making it healthy again. You know, I'm okay with that personally. Would you rather the book just completely disintegrate into nothing Like is that
So-
is that,
so,
is
like-
that do we have that much hatred towards that the idea of
So I don't think it's gonna like it would literally have to be the most brittle thing in the world to conserve it. Okay, and that's fine. But like if I had to choose between if I had an action 1 and the spine was split, but it was still to where I could just have it graded. Dan, you're the man. Where was it going? Oh, but if it was like action 1, spine was split, it was just basically the cover, the rest of the book, but I got to still have it graded. I would still do it that. I would not go and have somebody tape the spine together or anything like that. I don't even care if it was AF-15, ASM
yeah.
1. I am not a fan of it. I would rather it be just the original book as is.
Yeah, I don't like tape. I mean,
Well, I'm just saying in
I
general,
definitely I like the idea of leaf casting a lot more than tape because it's something depending on where the split is, it's something that looks natural. It looks a lot more natural, and that I'm definitely much more okay with.
yeah.
But again,
I still wouldn't know.
it's got to be something gnarly before I would. And I've literally seen videos of it being done, and it blew me away. I was just like, wow, this is nuts, man.
Yeah.
It's I didn't even know that was possible, but seeing it happen and the before and after, and I'm just like, man, it's really impressive, and the craft itself and the ability to do that, something that's pretty cool.
It says Dustin from Two Brothers Comics always sends me these.
What a dick. After I made you a happy birthday post, you bastard.
Oh yeah, everybody. It was
And
Tyler.
I sent you a birthday present.
He was.
And it was
Okay, I
wrapped
watched
so
that
nicely.
video. Go watch
wrapped.
this video, guys. I'm not gonna ruin it. It was quite funny. It's on Whack Comics. So go watch it. And I'm just sitting here like,
How many times have we how many times have we done that to each other? Like,
I'm just sitting here and I'm like, the hair. First off, I couldn't get
Hair.
past the hair.
oh,
His
his hair.
haircut.
Yeah.
And then he just does something, and I'm like, okay, that made no sense. But and then he like the whole time in the video, he's like, I don't know why I did that. It was so dumb.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh my god, go watch it. It was quite funny.
It didn't work the way I wanted it to. I had it set up so when he pulled it out, honestly, it was all supposed to fall out on the floor. But I guess I taped it too good. Like it was set up like a booby trap so that no matter which side he picked up, it was supposed to just fall and go everywhere. But it didn't work that well.
It was Dustin's foot.
No, it was not.
That's like his favorite word. Anything and everything.
All right, so let's get to the last part. Conservation.
Conservation.
And I meant to bring my CGC book in here, but and look and see what they hit you for conservation with. I know replacing staples is one, and then we're not going to talk about the green conserved label, because that's a whole different type of conservation. I'm talking about their gray label. You get a blue still, but it's just got a gray strip across the top. I still think that it is absolutely horseshit that they will hit you with a green label because a book has not got tattoos that were inserted in it when it came out, or trading cards or 3D glasses. I think it's absurd that they don't consider the book to be whole and complete without that shit.
Yeah.
Now, cutting out a Marvel value stamp, removing part of the paper, okay, but we're talking about something that was not printed in the book, something that was attached to the book after it was printed. To me, tattoos, trading cards, 3D glasses, like that shit should, in my opinion, that shit ain't got shit to do with whether or not that book is whole and complete or not. Like I don't know. Number one, you leave that shit in there, it's just imprinting into the pages. But yeah, here you go. Conservation repairs. There we go. Yeah. So you got tear seals, leaf casting. Oh, okay. So they consider leaf casting conservation. Okay, so that's cool. So I guess restoration, they just literally talking about like color touch most of the time then. But some cover or interior cleaning, water or solvent if they catch you, reinforcement, spine split seals, staples cleaned or replaced, and deacidification. Also tape and glue and stuff like that. Now,
Yeah, that's what they're talking about. Materials,
Yeah.
used in conservation.
yeah.
device,
So,
paper,
so,
glue.
so where do you guys stand on this?
I'm not a fan of it at all. Well, so again, like the clean and kind of what we were talking about with the waterfall cleaning, if we'll call it that. I don't know, man. That one's tough because, for me, you're not touching up the colors. You're just removing water stains or mold or mildew. Which I think,
it's no different than dry cleaning.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, I don't know if I put that on the same level as sealing a tear or staples. Again, like once we get to the mild form of conservation or restoration of replacing a staple, I'm not
against
into it.
replacing staples completely.
Huh?
You're against replacing
Yeah.
staples then. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think, Justin?
I don't like the idea of it, but that's just because CGC says it's bad, right? Well, and I said at the beginning of this, restoration is bad only because CGC says it is. That's my opinion. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
But see, I'm again being the purist. I'm not my thing.
So I held this book. I just got this book back, and I held this one until we got to conservation. God dang! Don't even.
Well, you were going to be. We're still here.
Do the thing where y'all are under. I don't feel like I'm talking to anybody.
We're here.
Oh my god! You just want to be able to look down at your phone, not pay attention.
No, but look. If we can. Oh shoot, amateurs. So look, let me hide that.
How do you do the thing where you guys are like about nipple height? Yeah, that's fine.
But see that blocks some of the book, and I don't want to do that.
Oh no, it's fine because all you need to see is the label. So I just got this one back, and I bought this at Heroes Comic-Con. Justin was with me. Really a big book. Whether you're a Power Rangers fan or not, whatever. It's a very expensive book, very sought after, very hard to find. But at the same time, this book is it's Antarctic Press. Antarctic Press, after some research, they use the world's shittiest staples. This book was printed in 1994. These staples were rusted extremely bad to the point where it was getting into the paper and beginning to ruin the paper itself. So I bought a Sentai number 3, and my intentions were to swap the staples out. Now, I have no problem buying a book with swap staples. It does not bother me at all. Now, this is not a book that I was looking to sell. That I whether it came back conserved or not, didn't matter to me. But I wanted to get rid of the rusted staples. The number 3 I bought had mildly rusted staples as well. Here's my thing. You let that rust. You leave the rust on the staples. You leave these heavily rusted staples in your book. What happens to the paper?
I get it, but I still would prefer it to be original.
So you would prefer the book to be ruined.
It's not going to be ruined, but it's the state of the book.
You don't think that rust is going to ruin the paper the more it seeps in and the more it spreads? Because it does. It absolutely does. It will absolutely destroy the book. I've got books sitting up here that have had rusted staples in them since probably the 70s, and it is. I mean, I can literally see in the couple of years that I've had them where the rust is spread on the paper itself, and that's my thing with like the whole staple thing is like people get so hung up on that, and I'm like, well, what would you rather have? Would you rather have the book just sit and again just ruin, or swap staples out with a book that was printed it literally swapped the staples and put staples that literally probably came out of the same damn box because it came out of a book that was printed the same week and year that the one that you're replacing them in. And at the same time, like replacing staples, if you bought a book a book and nobody told you those staples were replaced, you'd be happy as you could be. You would never ever have any bad feelings about that book ever. You would love
But
that book.
again,
And
ignorance
if
may
you
be
found out
bliss.
5 years later that the staple had been replaced on the top because it was rusted,
I'd be pissed and would sell it.
it would just ruin the book for you. I think
Ig-
I don't know. I
ig-
think that's, to me, that's
ignorance is
just-
bliss, dude. So say you bought your truck and you found out that the rear quarter panel is nothing but stucco, but it looks
No,
good.
That's not the same thing, Nick. That's
But
not even.
but you
close to
didn't
the same
know.
thing,
You were
Nick.
happy.
You're not even.
you were-
You're
you were
talking
sold
apples
a
to
fraud of
oranges
a
and
book.
You know it. You're talking out your ass, and you
I'm
know
not though. I know it's a little bit severe
It's
example.
not a little bit. You're talking about taking a quarter panel that is made of a
I know it's a little bit
metal
severe.
and swapping it out with stucco, something completely different. I'm
No,
talking
not
about
stucco,
a staple
sorry,
or a
what is it?
staple.
You know what I'm talking about. It's not stucco, but you get
It's
what I
the
mean.
same. No, it's still not. It's still
Bondo.
If you're not swapping, Bondo is still not metal. It's not
No, I
the
know.
same material. It's not the same. Then we're not having the same conversation. Then I'm talking about swapping
Okay,
one
okay,
metal
so
staple
say-
out for another metal staple.
Okay, so say you buy your brand new truck,
Mhm.
and instead of having genuine Ford Chevy parts, it's full of a bunch of generic label parts that they've thrown in there. But you didn't know. Truck runs great, no big deal. But you find out that it's
I still
not.
kind of feel like that's different because we're
No,
not
I'm talking about
brand
it's
new
the same
books.
parts.
You're
just
talking about a
genuine
brand new
versus not.
car. You're talking about a brand new vehicle and an old book. You're not talking about a brand new book and a brand new vehicle. Now, if somebody sold me a truck that was 10 years old and it had an engine swap in it, and I wasn't aware of that beforehand, if the truck runs good, I could give a shit. Truck runs good.
But again, you're being sold something that is not genuine, and that's my.
And I'm
my
not
issue.
talking about someone trying to get over on you for selling. I'm talking about your opinion on this book changes so significantly over something like that, but you would be okay with it if the paper was just getting eat up in rust. Like, to me personally, like sitting here when I opened this book and I could see what the rust was doing to the paper, there was no fucking way I was going to leave it in there to ruin this book. That just seems stupid to me, that I would be so caught up in this idea that if you replace the staples and now it's not original and it's just a piece of shit now. I can't see being that hung up on that you would just let the book rot and be destroyed. That just seems crazy to me when I could literally take the same exact staples from the same exact time period. It's not like I'm taking modern butterfly staples and putting them in a Silver Age book. Maybe I'm taking a Fantastic Four #1 that has rusted staples and it's a high grade, and I go buy a Fantastic Four #1 that's a low grade. Well, they were printed at the same damn time. If I swap the staples, like I'm still using original Marvel Comics, Silver Age, Fantastic Four staples, Fantastic Four #1 staples. To me, I'm using original parts, And again, I'm not getting on the. I don't want this to get on the point of where we're talking about trying to swindle people and. Why would you care if somebody sold you a book that they didn't tell you it was swapped? That's not what I'm talking. I'm just talking about in general. Like if you have a book in your collection that it's that bad, and you would still just rather leave it and just let it, like whatever happens. Like if the paper, ends up rusting into where the spine, splits in half, then I'd rather that happen than swap the staples out now and save the book. Like that's more what I'm getting into.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think I would rather have it.
To me,
completely
I've got
original.
more of a love for the books than to just let them than to let them just completely fall apart like that. Like I've got more love for the books than that. You know, I'm not gonna swap a staple on a book just because, you know, it's got a little bit of rust and, you know, it's not causing a problem. But like I said, you know, these staples here are so bad, and I don't know what exactly kind of damn metal they used on them, but these staples are so bad that, I mean, shit, they'll probably just rust and fall out. Like, you know, you'll pick the damn slab up one day and guess what? You got a damn staple rust, you know, falling around in there, because these slabs are not going to protect, keep that rust from continuing on. But
I actually do wonder if that would, right? Because rust needs oxygen and
there's got to be some kind of trapped something
moisture
in
to
there, though.
spread, right? And don't they put some type of paper in there, or is that CBCS that does the paper?
Oh, fuck off, Tyler. I do not.
Justin, what do you think about the staple scene thing?
I've swapped staples in one book, and it was mine, and it was this one. And like I said, I don't care. I saved the book, and I'm totally okay with it.
What do I think? Basically, I don't care what happens to my book as long as it comes back Blue Label.
Dustin, next time you get it, just
You're
rub your
so shallow.
genitalia all over it.
Hey, as long as it comes back high grade Blue Label, I don't care.
Well, you know that's how you know if I get it, that's all it's gonna do. So
I never want that water fountain thing though.
I would never do that. Number one, like I said, that's not something I'm gonna open up to any customers probably at all.
Ooh.
But I damn sure would never do anything outside of a standard press and dry clean to any customer's book ever, unless they asked me to. I wouldn't even offer to, because I don't want to deal with that shit with other people's books if I don't have to. Now I'll do it to my books all day. I'll go the extra length and do some sneaky shit on my books because I'm keeping them, and you know, I want to see what I can do. But I'm not doing it with customers' books or anything I'm looking to sell. Like anything I'm keeping I'm keeping, like, is like, I'm not selling this damn book, you know? So like I could give a shit that it says conserved. But you know, I don't even know how to do color touch. I have no interest in it. But no, I would never like take your book, Justin, and just start throwing it underwater. Like I wouldn't do that. The one that we did that with, we were trying to see, we knew that it would remove foxing, we knew it would remove tanning, we knew it would remove staining, but we had not been able to get our hands on anything that had mold on it. So we were very interested to see what it would do with mold. So you guys will see before too long how successful we were, because it is already scheduled for grading.
There was
but-
another topic I was going to ask you guys about.
But do you? I mean, like I said, I can understand. I can appreciate where you're coming from on the staple thing. But I mean, do you see where I'm coming from though? Like,
No,
does
100%.
that make sense?
This is not a hill I'm going to die on by any means. Like, I'm not saying you're less than, or I'm a better collector, or anybody that wants it done.
No,
I
and
absolutely
I'm not
agree.
neither. Like I said, I just, you know, I don't, especially something like this, you know. I mean, if it was just a regular Power Rangers book and the staples were rusting, I'd just buy another one. But, you know, something like this, you're not just going to go walk into a comic shop and find them. Now that Power Rangers is the hottest thing on the planet right now, comics wise, these are coming out of the woodwork. But I mean, you know, I wasn't willing to let that book continue rusting away because of what CGC is going to put a label on it. Like, I give a shit, you know. It's still Sentai number 2, and I mean,
Yeah.
and honestly, I'll be honest with you guys, the staples I put in it, them fuckers got rust on it too. It's just much more mild. And I honestly wasn't even sure. We honestly we looked at the staples where the rust were. We strategically put them in the book so it would try to match up where the rust was on the paper. And you know, they caught it. And you know, at first I was like, well, damn. Like, I was more mad that they caught it than anything. But like, as far as like, does that label bother me? Like, no. Like it just didn't. I just didn't like that those fuckers noticed.
Yeah.
Bothered me.
CBCS turn times. Yeah, I mean,
Blue
honestly,
Hellion? Oh, I'm sorry, dude. Go ahead.
I was just talking about Blue Hellions, about the sketch cover through. Yeah, probably. I mean, I have green labels on all of my Footprint books.
Well, even your bone. You know, I think if you had it signed, if you know that shit's legit, stop being so hung up on these damn labels, man. Stop letting. I think that's the problem we've come to, and I'm not picking on you, Justin. I think we've gotten to the point where CGC literally runs so much of our collecting, and CGC has such a tight control on how we feel about the books in our collection. It's taken over, and I think this general mindset of, you know, that label deems the worthiness of every book in your collection because that's what because that's just how it is. It's just like this whole idea, and we're going to talk about it next week, that just because somebody's getting, you know, just because Silk is getting a show automatically means that book has to go up in price. Why? It's just the way it is.
I'm shocked it isn't, though, if I'm honest, because she's a really cool character, and that book
I'm not
is
shocked at all. Look,
it's dropping like
and-
crazy.
and we're going to talk about it next week. I'm not shocked at all.
You'll have fun.
'Cause look at every character that has come out in a new movie or show in the last couple of years, and the books went up. What happened to them? They go up a little bit for a little while, and then immediately crash and burn to the ground, never to return.
Yeah,
And I think people are finally starting to smart up to this. Like,
or they're running
you
out
know
of money.
what? Maybe this isn't like a guaranteed thing that we have to go by. Maybe I can make my own decision on whether or not that book is actually worth spending this amount of money on. And
Yeah, I think that's good,
more
Blue
people-
Hellion. Dan, definitely
What?
going green label.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, just think about it, man. I mean, like, do you really need a label to tell you that you stood there and watched them do that shit?
Maybe.
Because that's honestly the way the like unless you're looking to sell it, then that's honestly what you're doing. You're saying, I know I stood here and watched this get signed, but the only way I know it's real is if it has that label right there. Even though I watched it get done, if it don't have that label, it's still not it wasn't it who knows if it was really signed by Neil Adams. I don't know. I mean, I was only standing there and watched him do it myself. And I think it's I don't know. To me, I think that the labels, the whole label thing has just gotten to the point where
Guess what?
that's all that matters.
Guess what?
Hmm.
Chicken butt.
Yeah. Don't add to the conversation. Let's just make chicken butt jokes, jackass.
I got Dustin to say chicken butt. I just felt like you were getting a little heated, and I
No, I'm
wanted
not
to,
getting heated. I
not
just
heated, but like you were getting a little serious, and I wanted to bring some levity back.
well, no, I think it's a serious subject. Nobody ever talks about it. I don't ever hear
Well, you
anybody
are.
talk
I was
about
just
that.
trying to be the comedic relief, or was it bad timing?
No, I'm fine. I'm totally
Okay.
fine. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not upset. I'm not aggravated. I'm not pissed off at all. I'm not at all. It's just
Then why am I even here?
Yeah, Justin's supposed to be the mediator between us. I texted him.
Well,
And
I
I was
mean,
like-
I'm waiting for either one of you to like jump in on this topic and
Well, so he like it's. I mean, I gave you my opinions, right? And you know where Justin
no,
stands.
no, no. I'm talking about like this whole idea of like the labels. Like, do you agree that like I said, if we go back to if we go to just like Dan's talking about, if we can break it down into the different labels, like the yellow label versus the green label. Justin, if you got a book signed in person by whoever, but CGC wasn't there, you wouldn't send that into CGC for fear that you would have a green label in your collection, correct?
100%.
But why?
Because I don't like
You-
green labels.
But
because they're not blue.
and
He's
that's
a
what I'm saying,
racist
though.
label person.
Like you watched him get it done. You're not selling the book. You
What up,
were there.
Aaron? Mhm.
What up, Rafist?
He
What up,
breathed
who dat?
on
Look
you
at
while he
y'all
was doing
all
it.
jumping in.
So what is it about that green label that is so terrible that you would just rather throw that book in a box somewhere and then wait and get the same book signed by the same person later on while CGC's there, even though you already got it signed once, but because you don't want the green label, like what is it about that is so terrible outside of the fact that it's just because the general consensus is from everybody, from this whole group think of green label is no good.
Okay.
And
I'm
I'm
gonna tell you.
not trying to like belittle that. I'm just trying to like, you understand what I'm saying though? Like if the general consensus was green label is okay, it's not a bad thing, then would it bother you?
I'm going to take a moment here to sort of compose my thoughts. So give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. Here's what I think it comes down to. I think what happens.
I think I broke Justin. I've never done that before.
He straight up left.
Because
Like,
so same thing to you. What do you think?
about the green label versus.
Well, I know what you think because you got your bone and you didn't give a shit because you knew it was already signed in person. It was witnessed, so you were cool with it.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to buy a green label, or a purple label unless it's just kind of like what I said earlier. And
Now,
it's simply because I want it original. Like I have the Sean Schimmel signed DBZ. You know, it doesn't matter to me if as long as I know it's real. Like I personally did it, I'm fine with it. But I'm probably not gonna buy it from somebody else. You know what I mean?
Now, would you buy a verified signature?
From CBCS,
Yeah. Do you have issues with that?
probably I would be more inclined to do that and be okay with it, even though I know there is a lot of fakery.
Yeah. I mean, I've literally seen people.
Yeah.
I forget who it was. Got Stan Lee to sign a book. They had it signed in person, and CBCS could not verify it, they said. And
Yeah.
again, I think it comes down to that color of that label. It's a yellow label. And I think it's just this whole like we've been wired to believe the label is everything. The color of that label is everything. That's the only thing that matters. The color of the label, if it's not blue and it's not yellow, it's garbage. And there's nobody ever raises a question to it. Nobody ever tries. I don't think for the most part anybody tries to really sit down and think that through and think about why this is. Like, is this something that really bothers me? Or is it something that bothers me because if I show it on a screen, somebody's going to say something bad about it? Well, fuck them. It's not their damn book. And I think
for me, it has nothing at all to do with what anybody else thinks. I don't care. But again, like if you know, there's very few books that I would be okay spending the money on a purple label or a green label, and it would have to be one of those very expensive.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it as a discount type
Well,
book.
and I'm not even on that topic
Yeah.
anymore. Right now, I'm more talking about like the signature green label thing.
Would
You
I
know,
prefer a yellow label? Sure. But if it's a book for me that I know that I was there when it was signed, you know, I'm fine with it, right? I mean, like my Sean Schimmel Dragon Ball Z #1 book. It's green label. I don't care. I love that book. Although it probably could be, honestly, it probably could use a good pressing and still come back a green label in a higher grade. Or did it come back a 9.8?
Mm-mm.
I don't even remember what it is.
I think it's a 9.0 or 9.4.
Something like that, something weird, which it does not deserve it because I did not treat that book nicely. It was like one of my first books before I really did any grading. But yeah, so
And here's my other thing. And this is something that people should think about too when you're talking about these green labels from signatures. Because CGC does pick and choose what's okay and what's not. If
Yeah.
I've got a TMNT Raphael #1 signed on the inside cover, it was not verified. It was not done in person with a witness, but it's a blue label. and it says
Yeah.
Kevin Eastman signature on the inside cover or something like that. Because it wasn't on the outside they give you a blue label. And when you start getting into stuff like that, and when you start looking at like CGC was okay with adding the staples on like that UF4 until everybody threw such a fit about it, because I guarantee you, trust and believe, CGC was not going to change that damn label from a blue label until shit hit the fan. But you try to save a book from some really bad rusted staples that's destroying the paper, they're not okay with that. That doesn't get you a blue label. And that's where I think you really have to sit and think about what things really matter to you and what things you're letting CGC tell you, and the general consensus of comic collectors as a whole are telling you matters to you. And that comes back to our motto and what we've said from the beginning with Collect Your Way. Don't go out there and miss out on picking up a book you really, really want. Oh, but it's a green label because it's signed and it wasn't witnessed. Somebody's going to give me shit about that. Fuck them. Like, I'm sorry, but that's my opinion on that. Like, you know, whether the signature's real or not, like, dude, you got the book. Like, if that's the one you can afford, that's the one right in front of you, and that's the one you want, don't pass that shit up just because you're worried somebody else is going to say something, or because CGC told you that this is not good, or because a YouTuber told you that this is not good. Like, who gives a shit, man? Like, this right here, like, damn, the labels be damned. That is what matters.
Yeah.
This is what we're collecting. This is the shit right here that we collect. This is the stuff right here that we say we love and that we're here for. Not this bullshit right here. And I say that, like, yeah, I collect graded comic books. Yeah, I like the way they display on my wall. And it gives me a sense of security. If I die tomorrow, my wife's got an idea of how she can, you know, she knows how to look up what these books are going for based on that grade. She's completely screwed on all my raw books in there, but you know, but don't lose sight of this, guys. And I think that's what a lot of times, I think that's what's been happening. And I think that we've gotten to the point where we're losing sight of this. And that's to me where I was just trying to get with all this is, you know, worrying about such tiny little things that really, you know, when it comes down to it, like what does that matter? Like, you still have Hulk 1. Like, that is still the printed first appearance of the Incredible fucking Hulk, bro. Like, somebody swapped out a staple that was about to fall apart because it was so rusted and it was causing the paper to deteriorate around it. They saved the book, though. They kept the book from falling completely apart. You know, that's the way I feel about it.
Yeah. No, I get it for sure. So Rafost, gotta be close there. I don't know if they will or not.
Comics.
What now?
I said R Comics.
We're gonna go with RC. No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, man, I don't know. I think that's a lot of liability, and I think as much crap as they're constantly getting, the first time somebody sends in a fake signature and it gets passed,
I don't think they really care that much. I mean, CBCS has happened plenty of times. I mean, hell, I watched a video of a guy who literally practiced. I forget whose signature it was. He practiced it for months and months and months, and they verified it.
Yeah,
but I could see CGC doing it because it's money.
Yeah,
it's more money. But at the same time, like, I mean, Jesus Christ, sometimes I think CGC, whoever is in charge of their marketing division, which is the part of the company that actually brings the money in, I think they're all idiots. I mean, look at the labels. They wait until after everybody has sent in all their Moon Knight books to do a Moon Knight label. They did the same thing with Kamala Khan. Now they just did the same thing with Jane Foster. Who the hell's sending in Jane Foster books now? Anybody? 90% of people who was going to ever grade a Jane Foster book did that shit a year in the last 2 years. You ain't going to get shit now. Like, y'all should have had that label out 2 years ago, a year ago. What's wrong? What are y'all doing? But then at the same time, we're getting rid of Ghost Rider labels. We're getting rid of Dr. Doom labels. We don't have a Captain America label. We don't have an Incredible Hulk label, an Iron Man label. I mean, like characters that people constantly submit books for. We don't have labels for those characters. So if you're in the business of making money, I would think that you would look and say, people send in a shitload of Iron Man books. We should do an Iron Man label. I can't believe they haven't done a 181 label. I think that would be something that is just like a no-brainer to have Wolverine slicing at Hulk as a label. Like, I said it for 2 years. Todd McFarlane should have a label that is literally just his damn signature, that they would make tons of money on that. Now we finally get it, and they hide it behind their stupid CGC sticker. But yeah, I could totally see CGC jumping into that game just because it's more money, and we know that's all they care about. I mean, they could give a shit about the product they're putting out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got really heated when I saw the new labels they came out with after they just said they're getting rid of Ghost Rider and Doom. I mean, I was like, really? Y'all had them out for like 6 months. You already getting rid of those? So we can have 2 Spider-Mans and 2 Venoms and 2 Wolverines. And it was good bringing the Miles label back, giving the new Miles label. I thought that was stupid as hell to get rid of that one. I'm like, there's no way that one's not still selling consistently. I thought that the Spider-Gwen label was a good idea. You know, I still think that there's tons of other labels. Even if they're only going to do Marvel characters, like there's tons of labels you guys could do that you're not, but you're putting out dumb labels that don't make any. I mean, how many freaking Kamala Khan Ms. Marvel books are people actually going to grade? Like, as far as like covers and keys, like how many of those are there really in comparison to, I don't know, Dr. Doom, Silver Surfer? How about a Galactus cover? Or label, like I'm talking about characters. People grade this shit all the time. If somebody gets a FF48, they're grading it. Somebody gets a FF49, they're grading it. Cap 100, they're grading it. Avengers 4, they're grading it. It's I mean, you know, it's but
there's
no,
got to be something
Foster.
because they're still.
I think they're going on old data. They're saying, oh man, in 2021 there was a huge influx of Jane Foster books that came in.
Yeah.
We need a label for that. Yeah, but you don't put that shit out 6 months after she was in the worst film that has ever been created in the history of film. Like who's doing y'all's research, bro? I don't know. Well, I'm fiery tonight. I don't know why, but I am, dude. I don't know. I didn't even mean to like get so fired up about that, but I don't know, man. I love this shit, dude. Like I love this shit, and it seriously, I think it comes back to the way that me and you felt when we first got into it, where we were having, when you're new and you have to go off. Everything you're doing and collecting is based so much off of what you're hearing other people tell you, and I think that getting so caught up on these labels and shit like that is, I don't know. I think it's gotten to the point where we're teaching new collectors that it's not the book inside the case that matters. It's the case. It better not have any scuffs, better not have any scratches, better not have any of those little rings on it, and it better be a blue label. And if it's not, then it's trash. Like,
Yeah.
it don't matter if there's a Superman 1 inside of it. If that case is messed up and the label ain't right, the book is trash. And that's the way a lot of, like, I've talked to recently to some people who gotten into it, you know, relatively new, and asking questions like about this stuff. And I'm just like, I'm reading these comments and I'm like, man, like, why? Like nobody is not one person. All anybody's talked about is the CGC labels and the cases. Like not one person's talked about the book inside. Like this guy's asking about the comic books, bro. He's not asking about these damn labels and all this other shit, man. Like, are you about the books or not? Because I'm about these fucking books, bro. That's what I care about. And the only reason why all of mine and everybody's always like, you talk so much about CGC, but that's all you use. And it's just because I can't stand for all my shit not to match, and I can't afford to go with someone else. And like I said, I like the idea of having my books graded and having a set price attached to them, so that if my wife had to get rid of them, she could. If something happens, I lose my job tomorrow, again, because we're so caught up on that right there. If I had to sell stuff to pay my bills, to feed my family, that right there is the only way that I'm guaranteed to do it. So it's all strategic, and it's all based on this whole mindset of, like I said, the label's what matters, not the book inside.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't tell you guys the amount of 9.8s that I look at. I've got one on my wall right now. It's got a 9.8 on it. That book's a fucking 9.2 if it's anything. I sent it in before I learned how to press and clean, and I didn't have it pressed and clean. And I know that book. I can look at it and see creases across it. Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, Tyler, he has some books that are not, you know.
Tyler's got a fake 9.8 Invincible 1 all day long. I mean, that you talking about somebody was talking about a fraud earlier. You talking about a fraud. The Blue Label 9.8 Invincible 1 Tyler has is a fraud, bro. That is a pig with lipstick on it. And I'm not talking shit about Tyler or his book. Tyler and me have talked about that. He even when he opened it up, he's talked about it and showed it. But it just goes to show that we've made this label the god in this comic book hobby so much that it doesn't matter if the book inside is really what that label says.
Yeah.
All that matters is the label. Like, you know, I've got 2 9.8s up here on my wall that were probably graded a 9.8, but when they were being encapsulated, they got damaged. They're not a 9.8 anymore. And that pisses me off because now I've got to go find both of those books in 9.8 condition again for my Mortal Kombat run, because it's my Mortal Kombat books. And now I have to find those again in 9.8 condition and hope they don't damage them again. Now my label says 9.8, so by general consensus rules, they're 9.8s, right? Well, when I'm sitting here looking at this big ass crease across this gold foil book, it's not 9.8 to me. And to me, that bothers me more than if the damn thing had a green label on it. You know, at least if the green label on it, you know, because it got signed. Well, I know it got signed, so I don't give a shit if the label is green, purple, black, blue, orange. I don't give a damn. I know they got signed. So sorry to hijack everything. And I'm sure we've lost everybody at this point, and they're unsubscribing by the dozens and think that Dustin's lost his fucking mind. But
it's all good.
My passion comes from a good place. I promise, guys. I cannot believe I hit Justin so deep in his feels that he rolled out. I was waiting. I honestly got a little nervous because I was sitting here trying to think. I was like, I feel like I've made some really good points. Like, I don't see but he had this look and I was like, oh, he's about to get me though. He's about to make me look like a dumb shit. He rolled out. He couldn't get me tonight.
I think he's just an old man ready to go to bed. I texted him afterwards and didn't hear back from him.
He's probably already up there on some Jeff Johns.
Too funny. All right. Well, I know you said you got to go. My lower back is killing me. I even took some extra ibuprofen. Yeah, he was definitely just tired.
You're rounding your back too much on that squat rack, bro.
Well, dude, it was deadlifting for the first time, and I don't know how long.
I can't wait till I come back over there next time, dude. Like, we ain't even leaving the house, bro.
It's been fun.
I told Amanda earlier. I was like, Nick has fired my ass up so much. I was like, I haven't had this itch. I was letting that sleeping demon lie, and I thought he was dead. I was like, no, Nick and Sky start sending me pictures and videos and shit, and I was like,
She shocked me this week. So, guys, if you don't know what we're talking about, basically, just started working out, really training again, and trying to focus on that. My wife's been doing CrossFit for the last. We're kind of past comic books, but at this point, if you guys are still here, you're probably more interested in us than necessarily the comic conversation, and then we're going to wrap up. But she's been doing. Oh, that's a good idea, Roughest. Rafa. Jesus, could you give me the way to pronounce it? Is it Rafust? Roughest? Rayfost. Anyways, but that's a good idea for sure. Or teach your wife how to use GPA Comics or eBay. But anyways, so she's been doing CrossFit for the last 6 months now, really been killing it. I honestly didn't expect it to last like she was, because she's never really been into anything athletic ever. Like, she did softball, but that was for a year, and I'm pretty certain she did that just to interest me in her in high school. Anywho's, but she was always big into theater. I'll check it out.
I like that. I
There we
like
go.
that. Hey, you know
Actually-
what? You know what, bro? You know what, bro? We about to drop the link in the chat. Y'all go sub this man up. That's how you fucking advertise your YouTube videos, bro. That is how you do it. That's what I'm talking about.
I believe not too long ago I did or not like 2-3 weeks ago.
Tyler, you son of a bitch.
he did a room tour.
Did you see Tyler's?
funny.
Bro, that was love it. Y'all go sub this man up, because he just killed it with that. Force you to go look at his shit. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all go sub this man up. Go check his stuff
I
out.
believe he did a room tour video. And then
Oh yeah, I wonder if we watched one of his room.
I believe I did.
The other week. Yeah.
And then this is Tyler's video I just added of him opening up Dustin's thing, but don't click that until after story time here's over. So anyway, so she started in a CrossFit, got super excited, and literally goes 3-4 times a week. And Rogue Fitness was doing their Black Friday sale, and gym memberships are one. We don't have really a gym out here, like my kind of gym. I'm not doing CrossFit. I did a mild bit of it before it was CrossFit back in high school on Wednesdays, and we did it was our plyo days, but it was basically CrossFit workouts. He would put up the name of the workout, but it was before CrossFit was what it is now.
Yeah,
Hated it, still loathe it
at that time.
Stupid, but anywho's, what up, Art Chemist? But there's not really a true gym out here, and I joined a gym, beautiful gym, like a luxury gym back in January, but we moved out here to BFE, and now it's like a 35-40 minute drive there, and it's just there's nothing out here. So anyways, Rogue was doing their Black Friday sale. I'm like, screw it, I got this whole setup, and so I've been working out pretty consistently for the past 5 weeks at this point. I think maybe this is the beginning of 5 weeks, the end of 5 weeks, because I got it like the first week in November. Maybe this is just a month in. Regardless, time doesn't matter. But so really just first couple weeks trying to get the soreness back out, and finally starting to get into, okay, we're going to train heavy, go for hypertrophy. I just picked up some training. or an actual training program I'm going to do, because I'm so used to football training, bench, squat, deadlift, 5 sets of 5, 3 sets of 5, that kind of thing. I wanted something very specific for hypertrophy, functional strength, that kind of deal. But anyway, so we were deadlifting earlier this week, and I was finishing up my sets, and my wife came down after she was putting Ellie to sleep. I work out at night basically, and so she came down there, and I was finishing up my my deadlifting, and I ran out of weights, but she started pulling. She started with like 135, and I'm like, okay, that's nothing. And then we slowly just put all of our weights on. And I think, what was at the end? Was it 235 on the deadlift? I think is what I said it was.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that, 235, 245. And she just pulls it like it's nothing. And, this is the first time
she had me so frustrated too.
What
I'm
now?
sitting here watching. I said, she had me so frustrated.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sitting here watching her roll this thing back and forth.
Well, this is the
back and
first time
forth.
she's ever genuinely done that, right? I don't think she's ever actually deadlifted at CrossFit. Maybe
Oh.
maybe small amounts. Or they do it like a deadlift snatch kind of deal.
Yeah.
So, but nothing
Basically
heavy
like a-
like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's her first time. You know, the first time she did it, she had the
I'm like-
bar 6 inches away from her shins, and I'm like, no, you need to literally feel it scrub all the way up your shins.
yeah.
You lay in this bar. Did you feel the knurling on
oh,
this
yeah.
bar?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it hurts.
So Jake had got a rogue
Yeah.
bar at one point, and I mean, we were all bleeding.
Yeah,
All bleeding from it.
It-
I mean,
dude, it was so bad that like,
awesome, though. I like after
Yeah.
about like the third or fourth rep, like you're already
Yeah.
bleeding, like you don't even feel it anymore. Like, but it's I don't know. There's something about like pulling that bar off the ground and there's nothing on the ground but sweat and blood and chalk all mixed up on the floor,
no,
and you just hit a PR and like I mean I swear to God, dude, like I gotta rip a fucking grizzly bear's head off. Like
well,
that
I
shit
gotta
had me
buy
so
some more
pumped
weight.
up.
I mean, I fully expected that weight to last a little bit, but I'm gonna have to buy
Yeah.
probably another 245s. But I'm waiting to need something else because shipping's a little expensive on that stuff. And
Yeah.
if you during certain times, I'll do like a buy certain amount, get free shipping or reduce shipping. But anyways, so she gets in there and she pulls this weight like it's nothing, and I send it to Dustin. And you know, but again, the first time she did it twice. With the same weight, and she had it like an inch or 2 inches away from her shins, and she struggled a little bit. I'm like, look, if you'll just rub it up your shins and sit
Yup.
back into it,
Sit back
you're
and
gonna
lean.
pull it no problem.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because I was like, oh my God, stop rolling it and thinking about
Yeah.
it. Like, I was like, I'm literally sitting here talking to the phone. I'm like, nope, let go of the bar,
yeah.
walk away, collect
Yeah.
yourself, turn
Well,
around.
she had already
walk
done it
up,
before that.
cinch in and snatch it off the floor.
Yeah. Yeah, she had
I
already done
knew-
it, and
Like
And
I was
so-
looking at, when she pulled it, I was like, oh my God. I was like, you could have, like, if you wouldn't have been getting into your head so much, like that shit
Yeah.
would have moved so easily.
yeah. I'm telling, but it's like it's really impressive, man, because like she won't for whatever. Well, for their workouts, they're not really going for weight; they're going for reps or whatever, depending on what it is.
Yeah,
So she'll come.
yeah.
So she'll come home and she'll do certain things and kind of see how much weight she can do or whatever. But like she texted me, was it today or yesterday? She's like, my neck is killing me, and she was talking about her traps. Because that's just, you know, she does stuff, but it's totally different when it's heavy.
Yeah.
And like my lower back, because I've been working shoulders and lats and traps real heavy all, you know, for the last 4 or 5 weeks. So that new soreness is gone. But outside of like 1 week of doing RDLs, I've not used my lower back really for anything.
Mhm.
And there's some other reasons why my lower back's hurting. But like yesterday hurt, today it is miserable.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I'm enjoying it though. It's so much fun. Like, I don't know. It's like as much stress as I kind of have going on with work and other things, like it just releases a lot of that.
Yeah.
I'm a
I think
happier
that's
person.
something that I've been needing because, and like after working out at the last gym I trained at, like I will never be able to go back to a club fitness and work out. Like
Yeah.
I can't do it. I cannot. I don't want to be around those people. I don't want to be in that kind of environment where it's so
Yep.
strict and people, you know, you've got 2 people in there taking it seriously and everybody else is in there to take
Yeah.
pictures and videos. And, you know, you got a guy on a freaking squat rack doing curls or push or bench press. And like, no, I can't take it. So
Tyler, I'm very confused by that. And Nathan, yeah, and that's kind of like, so I'm starting. Dustin has a hard time working out because of his wrist. Like literally,
I've got and I also, my left shoulder here has so much
Yeah.
scar tissue because apparently, like when I had to go to the chiropractor for so long after that wreck, like he's like, how long ago was it before you tore? I forget what he said in your shoulder. I was like, I've never torn anything in my shoulder. He's like, you
Right.
have massive amount of scar tissue on in your shoulder.
yeah.
He's like, you tore something bad at some point. I was like, oh, I don't know. I probably just thought I was sore and kept working through it.
We'll see.
But,
And
I mean, I'm the same way. Like if
yeah.
I'd gotten to the point where at one point my shoulder gave out on me while I was training for a powerlifting. I was going to enter my first powerlifting competition as an adult, and I forget how much weight I had on the bar, but my shoulder gave out and just literally let go of the bar and fell down to my side. And but yeah, I mean, if I do too much, I mean, my shoulder will be in like pain for months. So like in
Yeah.
between that and I've got tendons that are hanging on by a string, and after doing enough research, you find out that like a lot of that it has to do with stuff that I was taking as a teenager and an adolescent that I shouldn't have been taking. It causes a lot of your problems
Yeah.
with tendons breaking down and muscles and stuff like that. So I
Yeah,
just I
and-
shouldn't have been doing that shit that early.
Yeah, and see for me, what's starting to pop up because I've always had that right knee problem from that football injury. Now I don't want to say it's an injury, right? Where Craig came down on my right knee and I
Mhm.
thought it was gone, and I think that's not my ACL because it's not an issue one way. I think it's the MCL I have the issue with.
MCL.
I'm waiting. That hasn't popped up, but I'm not doing a lot of exercises where it kind of I need that pivot.
Yeah.
But for me, what's really been killing me is this left elbow, and where it's been worse is on squats.
Yeah,
Because you're basically pulling
I
the bar.
so whenever I did that,
Stroking.
whenever I did that powerlifting competition with Reed,
Yeah,
I didn't actually make a lift for squats
yeah,
because for some reason that day, every time I got under the bar, my elbow would start to hurt so bad, and a lot of it
Yeah.
is you're pulling down.
16-year-old Nick.
It would hurt so damn bad that I couldn't even continue to push up with my lower body on it. So
Yeah.
it's weird you say that because it was my left elbow that would. I
Dude.
mean, it literally the most god awful pain.
It has been killing me, and it's only been during squats.
Yep.
And I don't get it. Like not
That's
even.
why I like that bar I showed you, where your weights, where it drops down and comes out, and
The camber bar?
literally,
Yeah.
the camber bar. You're just using your hands to stabilize it, like it's all lower body. Like you just
Yeah.
have to push that shit up.
And then there's my first place trophy at 16. Thank you very much. Killing it. And
Yeah,
then
I've gotten to the point where I'm getting to the point now where I've lost enough weight, like I need to start doing something because
to maintain, get that metabolism up, get the muscle
no,
mass.
I don't like the fact that like my arms are as small as they are. My
Yeah.
chest is like that's like my chest, shoulders, and traps of something. I didn't even have to work at it, and they were always there, and they're not there anymore. And I'm like, I don't like that. So like I said, I got some kettlebells. I'm gonna do some I'm trying to try to keep it tame and
You can do a ton of stuff with kettlebells.
yeah,
That's why I
you
went with those
you can
over
do full
dumbbells.
body everything with them. But my thing is I've got to keep myself from getting to the point where it's like, I'm going to go buy this, 90 pounder and do everything with that because I
Yeah.
can and end up, serious injury where I got to have surgery because that's my biggest fear. Airplanes and surgery, because even though people go under all the time and they always wake up, I'll be the guy that doesn't. And that terrifies me.
Nah, you're gonna be fine, dude.
So yeah, but yeah, I mean, I'm down 60 pounds now. I was at 231 this morning, so I've got like 50 more pounds to go, and I'll be right about where I want to be. But if I'm gonna be down at 180, like I want to be a stacked 180. I don't want to be a damn little tiny twig. Like I've never had any interest in being a small person, small frame or anything like that. But yeah, I was just noticing the other day, I was like, when I was watching a video that you told me to check out, I think it was, I don't remember which video it was like last week or this week or something. I was like, God dang, my arms are just so little now. Like, I mean, I was looking through my Facebook and I'm like, God dog, dude, like I got so many pictures in there where I was just freaking jacked. And now I'm like, gotta do something. And then you start, and then you drag me back in with all y'all's videos and me and you talking about all that. And then, I hadn't kept up with like, WSM stuff in a long time.
Yeah.
And then, now I'm back, all into watching that and keeping up with those guys again. And I'm just like, oh my God, I just want to go lift up heavy shit all the time now. There's no better feeling in the world than having something. Uh-oh. There's no better feeling in the world than heavy as hail and picking it
So
up.
I don't know what happened.
Oh, I was saying there's no better feeling in the world than some heavy shit sitting right in front of you, and you just go pick that shit up.
Yeah. Well, like deadlifting, I wasn't really gonna do.
Well, I mean,
Um,
just in general,
no,
squat,
I know, but I was
bench press, like
I was gonna get to part of the story here.
oh,
Is I had no intentions of actually doing any type of deadlifting or anything like that. But when I got this training program, one of the lifts is deadlifts, and I don't want to start that and immediately be down. You know what I mean? Everything else I've worked the soreness out like that. Like I'm still sore after my workouts, which is where I want to be, but it's not crippling like whenever you first start. Like when you squat 45 pounds 15 times and you think you're going to throw up, like that first week when I texted you, I was like, I did one set. I was just trying to warm up with 15, and I thought my hamstrings were going to rip, and it was painful.
Did you
And
stretch before?
no, dude, that was my warm up. I was just
Yeah.
warming up,
Yeah, no,
you know,
still gotta
because
stretch, bro.
and that stuff like I'm
We're
remembering
not,
and,
we're not
and
in high
learning
school
again.
anymore, man. Like
Yeah.
that was one thing. Like, I walked in there that first week. I was training with Jake, and I just started loading up the damn bars, and he was like, "You gonna stretch a little bit first, or you just gonna go in cold?" And I was like, "Stretch, like that's for pussies, bro. Like, I'm fucking stretching."
Yeah, well,
He was
that's
like, stretching is for people who want to have any kind of longevity. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever, dude. You go stretch if you want to. And eventually I started stretching before, and I was just like, wow, you stretch, then you do warm up, and then you get into your working sets, and holy shit, like you get the blood moving in your muscles, and you can feel it, and wow, not only are you not as sore afterwards, but you perform better. Like that's
Yeah.
what a concept. And you got to stretch afterwards too. Like you stretch better afterwards than you do before, and that's going to help you with a lot of that soreness too. And not being so uh, static throughout the next day. Like if you're doing squats, like don't be sitting on your ass the next day. You need to be up moving around and shit. Get
Yeah.
that blood moving through your muscles, because that's why you get sore, because while you're working, you got so much blood pumping in them. That's why they call it the pump, and your muscles are expanding at that point.
hypertrophy. Yeah.
And then the next day, like you don't have that blood in there anymore, and now they're contracted and they're trying to repair, and that's why that shit hurts. Like you gotta get some shit pumping through there again. So I was trying to explain that to Amanda this week, because she did like a little workout in the house the other day, and she's been dying for like the past 3 days from soreness. I'm like, yeah, you got to work at home job, sitting down. Like you got to get up moving. You got to stretch multiple times throughout the day. Do something. Like you can't just sit around. Like that shit's gonna hurt.
Mhm.
It's gonna hurt
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah. And like I said, for me, it's this whole experience has been a lot of leave the ego at the door, being very humbled very quickly with it.
Oh,
And that's what I'm kind of finding
yeah.
is,
Especially coming from the background we have, like where, coming from like when we walk in the gym, when we were teenagers and shit, like
we were the strongest. I was
Yeah.
the strongest guy in high
motherfuckers knew we
school.
was there. Like,
Yeah. and it's very much so starting over,
yeah,
and that's like we talked about backstage last week, is that's why I went with the program I did, was to, again, it was kind of a humbling, but
Yeah.
also something to work towards. Somebody who knows a lot more about what I do, or knows a lot more than I do about the type of training I want to do. Not, I want to go back into only being able to functionally be strong at 3 lifts
yeah.
and just be, because I have no reason to work out other than health, right? And to be, in
No,
a decent,
it's-
you know what I mean?
It's all feed my ego. Like there's something about walking in, when you walk into a damn grocery store, and like I would do this. We'd be walking around the grocery store, and I'm looking at every fucking dude in there like, nah, but I know I'm stronger than him. I know I'm stronger than him. Like, no, like be able to walk through the damn Walmart and be like, man, there ain't a motherfucker in here. I know I can look at y'all and tell y'all ain't stronger than me. Like, and I didn't have that. I couldn't, walk in a Walmart and say I was stronger than every guy in there. But, I would eyeball, I would definitely like, just like, it was just something I would look at every dude in there and be like, Wonder if I bet I'm stronger than him. Now, like somebody like fucking Jake walks in there, like he ain't even got to look around, like that dude's he's just a freak. But
Mhm.
but yeah, I don't know. It definitely does a lot for your mentality, though, for sure. When you know your capabilities when you're in there at that point, for sure. But you're going about it a better way than I always have. Anytime I've ever taken breaks and walked away and then healed up or whatever and come back to it, like I've never, and Amanda's always gotten on to me about it, and you've said shit to me about it before too. Like I don't have no start out easy. It's like, this is what I used to do. This is what I'm going to do now. Yeah, I haven't been in a gym in a year, but this is what I did when I was leaving. So I'm going to do that shit right now, right out the gate.
Yeah.
And that's probably got a lot to do with why I have so many issues too. But
Well, and what's up, Vincent?
Vince?
What up, bottom tier? But yeah, so I mean, really, I started off with it because, like I did, because I knew I would hurt myself if I tried to even, especially, and what it was is that first day I did squats,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh my god, I've got to stop. And I should have done that with the deadlift, but I was just like, hey, I've been squatting, I've been using all of the muscle groups. I assumed I would be okay. And then no matter how proper your form is, if you haven't done a deadlift in forever, your lower back's gonna it still is a part of the move. And I mean, I went very hard. I went as hard as I possibly could with the weight I had, and I was doing sets of 8, right? Because again, I'm not trying to do 5 sets of 5, 5 sets of 3s. I'm trying to hit between 8 to 12 on the main groups, and then somewhere around 15 is a failure point on anything like your delts or anything like that, right? And then my what do you call it? My
forearm?
My arm wrestling muscle. I'm gonna beat your ass with.
I done told you I ain't worried about that at all, dude. I ain't never been no good arm wrestler.
But yeah, so anything like that, and I am actually there's a few things I want to get for forearm for grip strength. I think that's what I'm really going to do is just train
on grip strength.
Yeah,
just walk up and just damn grab a hold of your ass and see how long see how long it takes for you to holler.
Dude, I watched a video today of Eddie Hall, Brian Shaw.
Oh yeah, I watched it too. Where they went through Brian's weight things.
No, this is different. They were taking a 45 kilogram weight bumper plate, so it's extra thick, flipping it in the air and catching it.
Oh, okay.
45 kgs. So that's
I like
at 100 pounds.
Yeah, I like Brian's grip weights. He does.
Yeah.
He lines them up and he does the
yeah.
And
you know what that is, right? Those are just Thompson fat, or not Thompson. What do you call it? Basically, the massive,
the dumbbell
1 inch, and he just cut.
Yeah,
wild.
Yeah. And Eddie was the only one that came close, but he still didn't, didn't get them all. And Brian got them all though. I don't know. I didn't count that last one because
that's the first time he's done it.
I know, but I was like, I don't know, bro. Like,
yeah,
I don't know if we're going WSM rules. Like that one didn't count because you didn't set it.
Did he make excuses after why he didn't get it?
No, they all was like all for it. Let him do it. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I've got my biggest issue is I don't have any kind of my ability to just stay in the realm that I need to stay in. I know I won't be able to. Like I start out with what my plan is, and shit, I'll be in a hardcore gym somewhere in 6 months. Like I'll be hitting Jacob. Hey, bro, where you training at now? Are you back over at Stacks or like where's the Blood and Guts gym at? Like y'all will see my whole Dustin will be gone from comic books forever, and it will be Two Brothers Lifting and Blood and Guts channel.
I've thought about trying to get into that. I just don't have the time right now.
No, not me, bro. I can't. No, I can't do that shit because.
Well, I did the wrestling that year in high school.
Somebody fucks around and no, I'm.
See, I really I enjoyed the wrestling I did in high school until Coach Reed made me quit. And I did it for football, but anyways, I enjoyed that, man. There wasn't anything harder I did. But I think that'd be cool to get into, but again, I don't have the the
Yeah,
time.
it's like that paintball shit, man. Like I can't play that shit,
No.
bro. Like you shoot me with a paintball gun and it hurts. Like the
Yeah.
paintball gun's going away. I'm going to the fucking truck, and you better run. Like don't do that shit. I don't like that shit, bro.
Oh man.
My fuse is way too short because as soon as you put me in some kind of damn hold, my ass is gonna flip the fuck out and wait for you to turn around. I'm gonna hit you in the back of the head with something, be all over
Yeah.
your ass.
For sure. I'm trying to find, man, a good set of dumbbells. That's really the big thing holding me back on some of these things I want to do.
Yeah.
But God, they're so expensive.
Oh yeah. It's like I went to a wrestling practice one time and caused a humongous scene. We were practicing doing cross facing. And this motherfucker raked my nose so hard it started bleeding. Oh my God, dude. I was trying to kill his ass. Like, this motherfucker just broke my damn nose. You gonna yell at me? I'll be damn. He was like, I don't think this is for you, bro. I'm like, no, hell no. Where's the damn steel chair at? Somebody's about to make my damn nose bleed. That pissed me off so bad. You know, your nose is so damn tender anyway. You're gonna rake your whole damn wrist and elbow and forearm across my damn nose.
Oh Lord.
But I mean, like Hagen, he goes to, you know, he does karate. He's got jujitsu once a week, and then I forget what the other thing he does, but he's going like 4 days a week now. But
Yeah.
I mean, at his age, like he's further along than half the kids that are 2 grades ahead of him.
Really?
I mean, he's excelling very well in that. So
Good for him.
yeah. Yeah, I was showing Amanda earlier. I was telling her about one of the kettlebell workouts that Reed used to have us do, because I had never seen one until he came in and he brought these things in. I'm like, what the hell is that? And what it is he I think we started with like a 20 pound, but I would work up to eventually I was using 60s. And what it is you hold it. You'd hold it like this and you lay on the ground, but you've got it when you're laying on the ground, you know, it's out like
The
this.
Turkish get up.
Yeah. Turkish get up. That's what it's called. Yep.
Yeah.
I used to love those, dude. That literally takes everything in every muscle in your body, especially when you start getting up to heavy weight on it.
Mhm.
And I was showing her and Hagen that a little while ago, and she was like, oh my God. She was like, you just do one? I was like, nah. I was like, you do like 5 sets of 10 or something. I was like, I used to do 60s when I was in high school. And I was like, I thought that was the coolest thing ever. But yeah, I mean, you know, it was something I was looking for. I was like, what can I put over here or put up here with me that I can do like while I'm up here when,
Yeah.
you know, I've got books in the press and, you know, everything's cleaned and I'm just kind of waiting around to
I need
do
to look
the
there.
next thing. So I'm like, well, I could grab few kettlebells and I could do whole body training on that just enough to where I, you know, tone what little I have left and maybe build a little more. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, there's so much, man.
I'm gonna be looking for a pusher man here soon. Watch.
Oh,
Don't mind the needles up here in the comic book room, Nick.
I think I know somebody you could get them from.
Oh, I know somebody I can get them from. I know a
Mhm.
couple somebodies.
I'm about to say the same thing. I'm fairly certain we both know a few people.
Yep. Probably the same one that just told me to open my mouth and threw something in there and said, tell me how that feels later on. It's like, what?
Crazy, man.
Hour later, my heart was running beside me in the truck on the way to the house. It's like, called him, like, dude, my heart's beating so fast. I think I'm going to have a heart attack. He was like, go home and check your pulse and let me know what it is. And I don't even know how to do that. I'm Googling my pulse and heartbeat and all that. And oh, no, you're fine. You're good. I'm like, okay, thanks a lot, doctor. If I die tomorrow, my wife's going to be pissed.
Yeah.
Because she was just like, are you okay? I was like, I don't know. Jake just put something in my mouth and said to let him know how it made me feel. So I hope this is not like some shit he made at the house and we're testing it.
Good God.
I was like, it's probably not the worst thing I put in my body at the gym. So
True. What? Oh, we're good. Okay.
All right.
Oh,
Well, I'm gonna have to call it. I got to get up in the morning and drive damn near to the beach.
why?
I'm going to pick up a batting cage for Hagen.
Oh, cool.
So it's all the way in Greenville, which is like almost at the freaking beach in the bottom of Alabama. So driving all the way out there, picking that up, and driving all the way back. And my wife decided that they were not going to go with me. So I'll be looking for comic book shops on the way back. So if anybody knows of any comic book shops between Atlanta and Greenville, Alabama, please send me the DM with the goods, because definitely would like to. I probably won't get back out that way ever again. So be cool to check out some spots if I can while I'm out there.
Yeah.
I always do that. Anywhere I go, I'm like, all right, I'm out here. Once I get done what I need to get done, I'm like, all right, let's look for some comic book stores. Amanda,
Do it.
and she was like, I'm only seeing 3 that are even showing up in Alabama: the Deep and Haven, which I know Haven. She's like, both of the ones I'm seeing are in Huntsville though. And she's like, and this other one's just a regular bookstore. I was like, yeah, there's more. I said, hell, there's more than that in Huntsville.
Yeah.
So check it out and see. But yeah, I'm gonna record a video. I don't know when it'll get out, guys, but like I said, I got 4 books back from CGC that were sitting there for almost 15 months. And so I'll do a video, let you guys know what happened with those grades. We'll probably try to add the clip in where before I send them in, what I thought the grades would be. Like I said earlier, at that point, I hadn't really done I hadn't really put a lot into studying and learning how to grade books, and to the point where I am now, which there's still a lot to learn for sure, but I'm definitely way better now than I was at that point. But I wasn't like super bad at that point. So see how I stack up then, and what the deal is with these books that sat there forever, and what's going to happen with them going forward. So should be a fun video, especially like I said, almost 15 months. That's a long time.
Wonder if my stuff will be then back soon.
Bottom tier says, if you're ever in Decatur, don't go to the comic shop. There's a reason I consider my LCS in Huntsville and not my hometown in Decatur.
I wonder. So I want to say we've been over there. Is that the one that's more of a video game store? In
Yeah,
bottom tier,
I
do
don't
you
remember.
go to, is yours in Haven? Is yours Haven? Or is yours the Deep?
If it's not Haven, that's exactly where it should be. Collect your way, but definitely do it at Haven.
The Deep just posted basically every major first appearance in Spider-Man, but God, it's all so far over GPA.
Oh yeah.
And they're all pretty faded. So, the cover itself for me isn't really what I'm into. I
Yeah.
was like, dang, man.
Yeah, that's one thing that will bother me on a book, like a faded ass cover. I can't do that. Like,
Yeah.
you want to talk about something not being original, like that, and that's what kills me is like they'll give you a blue label and still grade you up to a 9.6 with a faded cover, and I'm like, where do y'all come up with this shit, bro?
Yeah, it's wild, man. Now I'm on Facebook Marketplace trying to figure out where I can get a set of dumbbells.
And it's also crazy, like with Hudat, he got that book back that said it had been cleaned. It wasn't cleaned. It was put in a UV box. And they gave him a purple label. Well, according to the CGC book that I have in here, he actually should have gotten a conservation label, not a restoration label. And that's according to their book. Actually, the label they use as an example of what your label will look like literally had the same thing on it. Book was cleaned as his restoration label. And I'm just like, y'all have really got to get your stuff together and figure out like what you're going to call this stuff, and at what level it becomes this and what level it becomes that, and be more transparent, because y'all are just making this shit up as you go at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild, man. It's very interesting.
Well, bottom tier collector, I promise you, um, there is no comic book
Store owner.
that I think in the state of Alabama is going to even come close to measuring up to Josh. I mean,
I love that, man. He's the reason we still collect comic books. Not to beat
Jo-
a dead horse. A lot of people have heard that story over and over again.
the very first day that I walked into a comic book store was not Haven Comics.
Yep.
But within an hour of me trying to see if I liked comic books, I decided that I wanted nothing to do with this shit. And then we went to Haven Comics, and if it was not for Josh Olive, it would have been an hour long ordeal for me as far as my comic book collecting journey, because I was done with it. But the way that Josh was able to talk to me, and the way he handled the whole situation, and how kind and informative he was, and helpful and excited, as excited as that. I've never seen anyone get as excited as Josh does over someone else's love for comic books.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, like, if it's not too far for you, then if you're looking for a pull list, then I definitely would urge you to consider giving them a shot, because Josh is absolutely top tier.
Yeah, and Josh is normally
Top
there on
shelf.
Saturdays, so
Yeah.
he has a full-time, normal.
He'll let you
job.
see his belly. He'll show you his nipples, like whatever you want to do.
Just
Like,
walk in there next time you see him. He's I've never had any issues with him. So as long, and if there are generally any issues, just talk to him. But he's there on Saturdays. You can't miss him. He's like 6'9", big dude. Tell him who we are. He knows, and just say, hey, I've had some issues. But I don't know if he'll be here this Saturday or next Saturday, because I know he's going to Disney. But yeah, and Josh has been on our show many, many times. He actually does his own thing. So if you go to Facebook on Thursday nights, they generally will do a Haven Comics live stream, and Josh will be on there. They have a YouTube channel, but it's Haven. Yeah, look him up on Facebook.
don't mind the other Joker that's on there. I mean,
Alan, he was in here. I don't know if he's been here tonight. Breed Love.
yeah, I haven't seen Alan in here.
But yeah, they have always done right by us. And like I said,
Yeah.
if it was not for Josh, I would not still be collecting comic books.
Yeah. And I never would have started.
So he's been wonderful. And so what burned you at Creamer and Cash? I'm curious, and you don't have to say, but and there's a lot of people in the chat, by the way, like Blue Hellion. He, a lot of those guys, even though they're not local, they'll vouch for Josh.
I mean, we've had people that have reached out and bought stuff from Haven just from Josh being on here, and across the country, reach out and buy stuff from there just because Josh is he's that kind of dude, man.
Yeah.
Whew.
Oh, maybe I should look at something. This is cool. Interesting. Oh, man.
All right. Well, I think I won't have to shut it down.
What? Why? Why?
Because I have to leave my house in like 5.5 hours.
Don't be lame.
And this has been the first week in like 8 months that I've worked a 40-hour week. And it's pretty much been by myself. And my ass is wore out from humping ladders all week.
Have you spoken with Josh? Any additional, or not Josh?
I haven't heard anything back yet. No.
Yeah.
I know he said he got everything over to the right person. So
just follow up. But again, and this close to Christmas.
Yeah, and that's what I told him, man. I was like, honestly, at this point, it would be a better situation for me if nothing happened until after the first of the year, because then I could at least get us through all this work we have, because we're going to be slammed until right up at Christmas. I mean, we've got 3 jobs now that have to be done by Christmas. I'm like, I hate this one extreme or the other. Like we're either dead in the water or up to our eyeballs in it. And I'm just like, man, like just some sort of consistency.
Yep. I hear you. Well, all right, guys. Yeah, we had major issues with the deep. And again, that's not something we want to beat a dead horse on, but basically, you know,
They don't know how to talk to people over there.
That if we that's a good way to describe it. We were not treated well, no interest in having, you know, reasonable conversations about helping people out.
Yeah.
I've seen the way they've talked to kids. It was all around terrible experience.
Yeah.
I've not stepped foot back in that store in 2
That
3
includes
years.
the people that are pretty well known out here too.
Yeah, it sucks because I really wish it wasn't, because it's an awesome store, man, but just can't get past the people. So,
Mhm.
but Josh, like I said, you know, he has people that does the pull list and stuff for them. If they make a mistake, he does, you know, at least in my experience, try to get it corrected. But I would definitely go there on a Saturday when Josh is there, talk to him a little bit, and just see. So, for sure, I love the guy. I really do.
Yeah.
And
It's not awkward. I promise you that.
yeah. Great reviews though. But anyways, guys, y'all have a great night. I'm gonna go try to Facebook Marketplace some dumbbells now because I'm all hyped up on some coffee. And I was thinking about going and sitting in the bath for my back. It's so bad.
Yeah, do an ice bath, bro.
I've thought about it. I don't know if I have enough ice though. I have thought about it though, man. It's
Get you a
killing me.
Coleman hot tub, dude, and just
I looked at them last night.
Yeah,
I did. I had them pulled up.
I don't know where to put it.
Well, the big thing there is I saw is that people were saying it took like 24 hours to get up to 104 degrees, and it didn't maintain temperature very well. And like, dude, that's a lot of energy wasted.
Yeah,
when I can just turn my bathtub on.
Hot.
Huh?
104 is not that hot either.
Not either. Like, I think I have our water temp set to 140.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could probably go to like 175 easily in a hot tub.
Nah.
I used
140. I put my foot in, and I about
me and Amanda when the last time we went on like somewhere for our anniversary, which was probably like 8, 9 years ago, 10 years ago. God, I haven't done anything for her for our anniversary in that long. We had a hot tub, and I had it set so high she couldn't even get in. Like she was just like, I don't know how you're sitting in that. She's like, that how's it not melting your skin? And I'm like, I get out of the shower though, my skin's this color. So
yeah.
But all right, guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I feel like we had a good one tonight, and had some good conversation. So next week, like I said, I think Nick's not going to be here. I don't know if he'll be back in time or not, but Babylon will be next Saturday. I'm going to have Dan De La Torre on here, and hopefully Daniel from Sticky Goose Comics. And we're going to be talking about why the MCU seems to dictate not prices, but the what's the word I'm looking for? The value, like personal value of a comic book, like not monetarily, but just dictate whether or not you should buy a book, whether or not a book has any worth in general. So should be another good conversation next week. So hope to see you guys all there. Hope you guys all have a good week. And as always,
collect your way. Man, that was not good singing.